Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Wake up!
You are now listening to the Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show.
Good morning to Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show, coming to you live on Facebook Live and YouTube. The number to call in 516-900-2278. We are the Weekend Review Show, and we do this every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Facebook Live and YouTube. We have the usual suspects, missing one. So we have the ultimate pleasure. First of all, wait. Let me do it right. So let's start with the regulars. We have Bino in studio. Bino, how are you doing today, sir?
What's good? How's everybody doing?
Doing well. Voice. We have Voice in studio. Voice, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm great. Happy belated Father's Day to you, sir.
Same to you, sir.
Oh, to both of you.
Thank you very much. And we have somebody very important in studio, man. Now, this is his first time in the new digs. When I saw this man, I got quite excited. Pause. Now, I'm a little bit nervous. I want to get your guys' opinions on this because this is the first time this man will be in the same room with Crystal. And do we want to relive the history of the drama between the two, or
yeah, because she's actually right at the door as we speak.
Really?
So let's address this history.
Well, let's introduce Trini Man.
Let's please.
Trini Man. Yes, Trini Man.
Happy Father's Day to you too. Happy Father's Day to you.
Wait, whoa. Oh yeah, well you are the father.
He does raise a pup.
Yes. So it's only right.
Roll your eyes on my puppy again. I swear. Anyway, go ahead, finish your story, man.
So yeah, so you want to wait till? I mean, we might X the whole top 5 segment for this crap.
Oh no, Crystal's watching.
The drama is thick right now.
Yo, she's at the door. She says it's locked.
Oh, wait. Which door is she at?
She's at this door right here.
Oh, okay. Let me go get her. Or no, Trini Man. No. It'd be great if Trini Man opened the door. So call us up, Trini Man. You mind getting up and opening the door for us, please? Thank you. Jesus Christ. Call us up. 516.
All kinds of awkward.
I know, right?
He doesn't want to.
Yeah, you gotta get.
Oh, you didn't even open the door for her? Disrespectful.
Yo, he just unlocked it.
Wow. Oh, you
Jesus.
Wow.
You could have at least unlocked it and opened it.
Wow. The tension is thick. Oh man, listen. It's only right. Somebody had gone done wrong. Look at now I'm talking like Trini Man.
I know, right?
I done ding whoa.
Trini Man, do you want smoke this morning?
What? Yo, Crystal, you can't come in here and start in trouble like this. What's wrong with you? Let me make sure my door's closed.
This is the sequel to
Let me make sure my door's closed. I don't want no smoke myself. So, voice.
Yes,
since you have a camera on Crystal, can you kind of reconfigure it so you could get Crystal and yourself?
Yes.
That'd be real. There you go. That's nice. So, and people, there you go. So,
perfect.
Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? There's a big elephant in the room.
A big Trinidadian one.
Elephant in the room. So this is the first time that Crystal and Trini Men are in the room ever since their drama with Crystal's party.
Directly across from each other at that.
Oh, wow. So
neither one has looked up this whole time. Yes.
So before we get to top 5 stories, does anybody want to say anything to each other? I mean, as far as I'm sorry, I was wrong.
I was about to say, Preach, you can't get some nice TGIF music, to set the mood?
I was waiting for the violin, actually.
Yeah, I'll look into that.
Thank
but
you.
Before we do that.
Violin music, maybe?
Robert Jones says grabs popcorn. Yes.
Exactly. We are all Michael Jackson in the theater right now. I swear to God. We are all Michael Jackson in the theater. All right, so let's just first start, because I want to give them some time to kind of get acclimated to this room. Bino, how was your week? Sorry, 2 weeks, because we were off.
Crazy, but we here. We here.
We here.
Yes.
Voice, how was your week, sir?
My week was pretty good.
Yes.
Spent time with little man.
Okay. Oh, yes, it was Father's Day. Yes. Not Single Mom's Day. It was Father's Day. Thank you. And Crystal, how was your 2 weeks?
Great until I was locked out the studio.
Well, that was Trini Man. I'm sorry for that. He decided he wanted to lock you out. So, Trini Man, how was your 2 weeks as a father of a beautiful pup? How was your week? How did you spend your Father's Day with your pup?
It was good. Everybody was home.
Now this guy want to be modest now.
I know, right?
I know that Trini.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
On the steel back there.
It's
what?
Them walls, all right?
Well,
again, unfortunately, we don't come with closed captioning, but I'm sure he's trying to say something. Yo, chill, son.
All right, so let's just talk about it.
Before we even get into that, Joe, did you get a chance to watch some World Cup?
Of course, I watching you woke up a long time.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Long time.
Yes.
From since you woke up, start I watching you woke up.
Since it started, huh?
All right, but Trini Man, you know you have to talk into the mic, sir. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I
Can
mean,
you hear me there?
that's how the
Can
music.
you hear me back there?
Yes.
right,
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Look
Can
at
you-
that.
All right, so
Nice.
Cut it out.
all right, so let's just dead this beef right now.
Yes.
It's bigger. This has been bigger than East Coast West Coast.
Exactly.
This has been bigger than 50 and Ja Rule.
Yes.
This is big. So can we see if we could?
Game in
Bino,
50.
you're a peacemaker. I know you, sir.
This is very true. Yes.
Can you? Because I'm not there right now.
On what earthly planet?
But can you, in some way, relieve this beef?
Whoa, excuse me.
yeah, you can't.
Keep
you
that
can't-
here. That
yeah,
got nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
Okay?
you can't do that.
Please.
I just see the veins just coming out her forehead
No,
and her
exactly.
neck right now.
As
It's
my
just-
camera
You wait.
on,
Seriously.
I'm just wow.
Yo. Chill.
She got-
Relax,
Definition,
boy.
boy. I tell you.
She
got-
relax, yo.
She got the.
You way too light to be this emotional. Your face red. Like, yo, listen.
All right, so
Straight
please,
tomato.
Bino, please try to dead this beef before we get to top 5, sir.
You're the peacemaker.
Guys, exactly.
Blessed
You're the
are
peacemaker, yes.
Blessed are the
Thank you.
peacemakers.
I
sir.
don't get
Exactly.
exactly. All kind of thing already.
Right.
Give me a little beatitude.
Trinimon. So you didn't get invited to the party, right? There've been plenty of things you haven't been invited to.
Oh, man.
By the looks of that shirt, there'll be plenty more. My point is this, yo. Okay?
Oh,
My point is this.
All right.
It's time to forgive and forget, okay?
Yeah, man.
We had a good time without you,
Yeah, man.
okay?
Yeah, man.
But to be fair, there was so many people there, you couldn't do all of your Trinidadian moves in the room anyway, okay? Like, how you supposed to carnival? You can't even sway on the side of the
The
room. How
party,
you supposed to do all that?
the
You know
party,
what I'm saying?
yeah, it
the
was
party was jumping though.
The party was crazy. You understand what I'm saying? And next year, we're going to have more parties. And maybe or maybe not, you'll be invited to that. I don't know. Depends on how this episode goes today. My point is this, yo. Just take it easy. You got your shorts out. You got your legs out. There's the World Cup playing. Life is good, B. You got an adorable puppy. All right? I want you to think
you're a
about
father
this.
of that puppy, too. Lucky father you are.
Yo.
Crystal Stout.
I can
Crystal,
see-
yes, please talk to Crystal now.
I can't do it.
Well, actually, maybe it makes more sense for Voice to talk to Crystal because I don't think she's gonna take your opinion seriously.
What can I
you know?
possibly say that's credible?
Unbelievable. Wow.
What can I possibly say that's credible?
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
All right, Crystal.
kinda like
all
the
right,
popcorn
then let
over
me
here.
let me talk to
Or
Crystal.
look at all
Crystal. Listen,
Yeah.
as you've been praying and slaying, and you're just inviting people to your party. Now, look, we had a great time.
Who
And
did
to-
I disinvite?
The person across from you.
I never invited.
Oh my God, you're not helping the cause right
You're not
now.
really helping the cause.
You're not helping the
You might as
cause.
well change that music
Now's
and
not
turn
the
it to
time
some
to be
type
great.
of
Yeah,
comedy.
no, yeah, I just, I mean,
Take that music off.
Yes, preach said the wrong word, but you know what he meant.
exactly.
Just invite, yes.
You didn't have to like add that on. You could have just said, "Oh, you know."
Unbelievable.
Is there any way in your heart you can the next function you've organized that you can invite Trini Man and we could do this whole beef?
Trinimon, I love you.
First of all, we all
They
do.
Made
So
it,
cut it
they
out.
made it a big deal. I didn't make it a big deal.
Really?
Minus the voice.
They made it. First of all, they lied to you because they told you they didn't have a good time, and now today they say they had a good time. 2 months later, they
Yeah,
said
but
they did not enjoy themselves.
we're not on
Don't you
trial here.
see
You
that?
are. That's the first one.
Yo,
Wasn't it Nino Brown? I'm taking everybody there with me.
What in the red apron is going on?
Calm down, Nino.
Oh
Olay.
man! Oh my God!
This is about you, Ms. Stout. Okay,
Yes,
please.
exactly.
Who ate the jerk chicken?
Shit.
I can't front that shit was good.
yeah, I ain't.
That shit was kind of good.
I don't recall anything you're saying.
Oh,
right
really?
now, but
I'm sorry. I
yeah.
remember that jerk chicken. That shit was good.
You and me both.
Oh.
So all right. So is the tension in the room gone? Is the beef officially over?
I love you.
Well, it never had no tension.
Now
I
you
guess.
guys are family.
Is there
This
any way we
the
can get? Wait. Is there any way before the end of this episode we can get a hug on camera?
Yes, can we
between
get
the
that
two?
right?
I told you next year you were invited to every family function.
And we're not.
You could come.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Again, back to my question that just got
Yes,
ignored.
yes.
Is there any way we can have this hug and squash this East
Yes.
West Coast? Is there any way?
But there was.
It's Trinimon. I didn't ask you if there was a beef. I said, can we
No,
hug
he says there's
and
no
squash
beef,
the
and he can't even look at her still.
Yo,
Exactly.
mind you,
Any
when
eye contact
he
between
opened
the
the
two of them.
door, he just turned the knob and
He
didn't even
turned the
look at
knob
her.
He didn't even open.
No,
Yo, I
but he
opened
turned
it
it. No, he pulled it open,
I
kicked it back up close, and walked away from it. Kicked it like it was a soccer ball.
Your kneecap right next to mine.
Trinimon chill, son. You will not threaten my knees. Yours, okay?
Yeah.
You're the one with those short shorts on.
Yo,
But, like, listen.
believe-
Who wears
Just
short
cool out.
shorts?
Yo, Trinimon wears short shorts. Yo, listen, Trinimon.
cut
Just-
it out.
and first of all, you met the door closed too. I'd like it closed.
That
after we're
definitely
done with
was
this.
closed, yes.
That's my point.
Oh, the door's open right
It
now?
definitely
Of course
open.
it's open.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Please. We're the loud neighbors now.
Yes, that's fine.
I never done do good show.
I want to squash this immediately.
Yes.
I want to squash this
You want to
bullshit.
close that door?
After you close that door, you come give her a hug, and we squash this shit right now. We going with our
Yeah,
with
can you
our
please
lives.
close? Yeah, so go close the door. All right.
Give her a hug.
Why
Thank
you
you, Mom.
giving? Why you giving Tremont orders like that? Go
See,
close
don't
the
no,
door.
Crystal, stop. Don't
You're
even
very close to the door. You could have closed it,
Hey,
Creed.
we ordered him to open the door for you. You
Yes,
still be out
ex-
there.
oh,
You see-
exactly.
and
Still be
see
out there in
he
your
didn't
Fred
want to.
Flintstone
You see
trying
he
to
didn't want to.
trying to come in, please. Now,
I was knocking Matt on my
Thank you.
knuckles.
All right, now Trini Man, as you proceed, no, Trini Man, you're supposed to give Crystal a hug.
Tremont got real beef for me. I'm telling you.
You're supposed to go give Crystal a hug. Let's dead this beef right now.
Well, we did the beef already.
Oh,
He basically said
hug yourself, man.
he basically hugged you telepathically. Yeah.
that right there tells you the beef is real.
Number one.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just leave this alone, man. Let's keep it.
Yeah,
Mr.
son.
Ziggs.
Wow.
Mr. Ziggs says as long as it doesn't get as bad as the Funk Flex Kid Capri beef.
Number
But
1.
yeah, we're gonna move on because
Yes.
now we just realized the beef is really real. And Trini Man, I don't care what you say moving forward. Like you were angry and you were pissed off. You had the opportunity to go hug Crystal
Yo, we
and
crushed
jet this
the
whole
beef.
thing, and you just
Yo.
walk right past her.
Yo, she right in front of me when I walk past you for.
And you took my.
What did he just say?
He said she's right in front of me. I didn't pass her.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
This man can't look at
I don't know
And I'm the
how.
only one I could translate for you. You see how you doing me?
I don't know how to.
Yo,
you know.
DeAndre says, don't get too upset, Trini Man. I don't get invited to the studio anymore. Stop that. Stop that right now.
No,
Stop
that is true.
You know, I
yeah.
think
That is true.
Preach. I think that was a message to you, Preach.
Nah, DeAndre, you're more than welcome to come by, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're at
Matthew
fif-
Central says,
we're at-
Crystal,
There,
go
a
give him a
letter.
hug.
A letter after the show.
We're at 55 Meadow Street. Go there. We're at 55 Meadow Street.
Wow. The joke is that is our old address. Yes.
Yes.
Maya B wonders, are you still mad?
Yes, he is.
Delmar makes a shot of how Liberian I am, and let's just move on. Yes.
Yes. So I don't know how to make this segue, but I'll try my best. So the number one story as we start off the show is an unfortunate situation that happened in the Bronx a couple days ago. Obviously, I don't know if you guys saw the hashtag, Justice for Junior. So a 15-year-old kid was on his way to the bodega and then was attacked by, I believe, 4 individuals, gang members in Bronx, New York, was dragged out with no help from the owner of the bodega, and then was proceeded to be stabbed on the neck and hit with a machete numerous times. Now, the video's out there. We're not going to play the video because it's in no way... It's horrific, absolutely. And he ran himself to the hospital, but by the time he got there, unfortunately, he passed away. So our condolences go out to his family. His name was Junior Velez, only 15 years old. And unfortunately, I mean, I think it's just been revealed like the gang members said it was the wrong guy.
And they send their condolences too.
They sent their
No,
condolences.
the family said that they did not reach out.
Okay.
It was on ABC this
Oh,
morning.
they confirmed
they
it.
They
It was-
said confirmed that they did not reach out, but they did confirm that it was the wrong identity.
Right.
Now, the crazier part behind that story is one of the guys was protecting was defending his sister because his sister was on a tape for a threesome.
Yes.
And her face kind of glanced over. But my whole thing is, you're sticking up for your sister who knowingly did this. She knew she was being recorded.
Yes.
Never once did she ever say stop, or not in the video that I saw. So you then murder, and it wasn't like you beat him up. Back in the day, if somebody played your sister, you would beat
Kick
him
their
up.
ass, yeah.
Yeah, it's a jump. Yeah.
had- You waited for him outside the store. You had him set up. You waited for
jump,
him
preach.
outside the
He didn't
store,
jump, yeah.
and you hacked him with a machete and stabbed him in his neck. You see him in one of the videos looking around, trying to like gasp for air and run himself to the hospital.
It was disgusting.
And the cops are on the side just standing there.
Well, I don't.
Looking in the area.
If he's
I didn't.
sitting, yeah.
I didn't see a cop on the video, so I
I'm
don't.
gonna show you the video after. There's
Okay.
a video of him sitting on the steps, and there are 3 cops to the right hand side,
Yes.
just
Really?
Wow.
standing
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Because they probably think it's another gang-related issue, and
Yeah,
so.
but even if
And they
not
had no
gang related,
remorse.
No, you're right. No, I mean,
Yes,
I don't. I
it's human
mean,
but now
here's the
you're
thing. And look,
you're not supposed to protect and serve people.
no, my thing is, listen, we always joke about the Bronx and how terrible the neighborhood it is, or about borough it is. But in no way, if you're a cop and you're stationed in the Bronx, like what Trini Man said, you're supposed to protect and serve. So if you see something like that happening, then I mean, forget the cops. I mean, yes, that's their job. But then you had on the tape, from what I saw, you had the 2 owners or 2 employees in the
Staying out.
bodega not even doing anything.
Yep.
Now I don't know. Listen.
Like the least they could have done was run.
Yeah, they could have been like, yo, what are you guys doing? Hey, get out of here.
Get out
Don't-
of here. Remember back in the day, they used to have sticks behind the counter?
Yeah, absolutely.
They had cats on the bread
I'm
and
sure they
sticks
still
behind the
got
counter.
that, but these dudes didn't, you know.
Right.
Because they run up inside the store with a machete.
Right.
Yo, but I like
So
the
they
fact
end
that
up
the people have outed the store.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Out of
Put it
the
out
store
there,
and the
basically
gu-
some
and
boycotting
the
or
and the suspects.
Say what you want about the internet, but you know, as me and Preach always say, the internet's the great equalizer.
Absolutely.
Because there's certain shit you could do due to having the internet and the power
Yes.
on the internet
Yep.
that you couldn't do before.
And you know this is not only because they only look at the internet. Oh, we're always bashing cops. No, I mean I think all of us in this room and everybody can agree like these guys need to do life. I don't care who they are,
Absolutely.
what their motive was. They need to do life because they took a kid who was only 15 years old. Apparently, he was a good kid, played video games, was always in the house, and now he has to lose his life because of a false identity.
Right.
But you know the crazier part? Like, think about it. 15, you're a freshman in high school. It's your first summer as a freshman. You're going into sophomore year. Like, he didn't even get to enjoy his summer. He died a horrific death.
Crying for his
Absolutely.
mother. He was crying for his mom.
There's a part where you see him grabbing onto the door of the store. Like, how do you do
That's
something
crazy.
like and then be like, oh my bad, it was the wrong person. You can't take that back.
And the crazy thing is, I don't even care if it was the right identity.
No.
like that's
Exactly.
still.
You don't do that.
Yo,
That's still ridiculous.
Your sister was out there wilding out.
You know, I don't know. I'll confirm it because Lily says it too. That the mother of the killer surrendered the son. I'm trying to confirm that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, Maya
yeah,
B
Says
says
that's
otherwise.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
I mean that's the wrong part about the internet is you get conflicting stories.
Yeah.
So obviously we'll keep our eye out on that, but hopefully they catch these guys. And shout out to the internet for exposing these guys because they did the right thing. Whatever those how we always laugh about the guys who are just in their room making memes all day. He's seeing people who are doing close-ups and figuring out pictures and releasing them to the public
Right.
just so that we know, and it helps the authorities find these guys, and hopefully
Right.
they can come to justice. And it's still an unfortunate situation, and it just sucks all around. So.
Shout outs to the kid too, also because he had dreams and his aspirations were to be an NYPD detective.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in like them Explorer programs.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He was
yes.
a good kid.
So, all right, big rest in peace to Junior Velez. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
So, another unfortunate news out in Florida, rapper XXX Tentacion was killed after leaving a motorcycle shop. Who is laughing?
Yeah,
Pino.
yeah.
Why?
Jesus
Please
Christ,
tell me.
Trini, man, what the?
What's what's hilarious?
I wasn't
about
laughing at the situation.
All right, Trini, man, maybe we need to turn off your mic for a little bit.
Exactly. Yo.
Yeah.
Hey, Crystal, her camera back.
Exactly. Yo.
I think it's the residual effect.
Yeah,
of the,
so
the party.
he was only 20 years old, was leaving a motorcycle shop. He was shot in his BMW. Apparently, it was a robbery. And I believe they caught one person, Deirdre
Right.
Williams, was arrested. I believe there were 2 other suspects. So I think there are 2 warrants out for them, and the authorities haven't released the names as of yet. So I guess they're waiting to capture them and then do what they will. But there's another situation where it's unfortunate. I wasn't really privy to his music like that. And the unfortunate thing is when something like this happens to one of these type of rappers, because I think he's in that era of the Instagram live. I'm talking my
No,
shit.
these trolling ass little
Right.
clown dudes. Yeah.
But not only that, he had a checkered past.
Yes. Yeah.
Apparently beat his girlfriend,
Pregnant
girlfriend. There were pictures and black eyes and things like that. And so and he also was admitted had mental issues and
His music was dark.
depressing and
Yo, I had
things
real
like.
stories around that where they was talking about like he would have wanted this to happen this way because it would have basically make him
A martyr.
more.
Martyr.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
like a lot of
and
people.
then he was talking about always might not be one of the people and them that he know
Right.
who do the killing and all kind of things.
That's
So,
usually how it goes.
Well, I mean, a lot of people saying he was getting his life back together, and it was, he was making positive moves and things, and then that's great. You know what I mean? Like, I want to ask you guys: do you think a past like that can ever be redeemed? Meaning, can he ever clear that black shadow?
It doesn't have to be cleared as long as a lesson is learned from it. 1, 2, he was actually my trainer's cousin.
Oh wow!
And
Wow.
and it's funny because all these stories are out and people are so fast to judge what they see but don't know the backstory of it. So as I was talking to him, because like everybody else, I'm like, oh, what was he into? And I realized a lot of the kids nowadays are much like him. They're very emo. Remember back in the
Yeah.
day, emo kids were like rare. Like, you know, you would see it once in a while.
Right.
This is the generation that they are raised up in. And even though him and that girl had a really bad past, again, I am not condoning anything he did. She put out a statement like, listen, you guys think I'm happy? I'm not happy. I'm devastated. Like, I have to raise a child without a father.
Right.
And she went to the site and put some stuff out. His fans burned it. His fans burned it. Like, they straight was like, I'm like, you don't understand what people go through as kids. And he just turned 20, not even a month before he passed away. He was a young, dumb kid. Like,
Right.
kids do stupid
Oh, wait.
things.
I mean, he was
No,
a young
Not
gun.
saying that it wasn't
lack of a
right.
better
No,
word,
you're
but
right.
same,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, I don't.
I'm not again condoning, but I also feel like at 20 years old, 19 years old, what are the stupid things that we did?
Of course.
Of course.
But
but
I'm
at
not hit- I'm
19
also
and
not
20,
hitting-
We ain't
yeah,
put
I'm
our
also-
hands on
Right.
females
Emo.
either,
Yeah, yeah.
especially
I agree.
pregnant ones to the
Yeah.
point where they're like they got scars and shit on their
Right.
face. So he
Right.
definitely was a scumbag. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I think my more concern with the situation was apparently at the murder scene, people were taking pictures. And all
Videoing
this wild
it,
shit,
yeah.
video and everything. You saw the video of him hunched over in a car.
mouth open.
Like, that's another thing about this society. Like, everyone wants to be the first to post something on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, whatever, to get cheap likes. Like, it's not that serious,
It's not
yo.
that
Like, you see
serious.
someone getting slumped and you around that area,
It's never,
pull
it's never
cops.
worth it. It's never
Like,
worth it.
like, why would you even want that on your phone? Like, that's crazy.
But do you think so? His death. I mean, because a lot of the discussion that's been going on with him is, do you forget about the past? Because a lot of his fans are a lot of these emo kids, and they're gonna miss him. It's the I'm not saying he's Kurt Cobain, but it's similar to that effect
please
where
don't, God.
you have a lot of kids who look up to him, and you know he talked about the same problems that they have. And do you automatically forget about his past once he
No.
dies?
No.
Not at all. Maya B got an interesting story. She
Yeah.
says not only about the girlfriend, but what about the gay man he beat within an inch of his life because he was gay?
Right.
No, I mean, listen, we all know he didn't have a good past. I mean, I know Peter Rosenberg caught some heat because, and I kind of agree with him. You can't make somebody a martyr
Just because they died.
just because they died.
Right.
Correct.
And then, but somebody else did point the fact out. Like, look at somebody like Malcolm X. If Malcolm X would have died at the age of 20, his reputation would be a whole lot different.
And that's
Yes.
interesting, but at the end of the day, first off,
changed.
let's never again use Malcolm X and this kid in the same sentence.
No,
as
but
one.
you understand what I'm saying, right?
No, I do, but here's the thing. Just because you grow up doesn't mean you evolve.
Right.
So he could still be 40, 50,
Right.
whatever, doing the same shit.
True. We all did.
Well,
Once
listen,
that-
it was all in all, it was a terrible situation. Obviously, you don't want to see anybody lose their life like this whatsoever.
And not
So
over money either.
Not over-
like,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
could have robbed him and left him. Like, I don't know what happened to the days where people used to rob people and just leave them. Like,
Well, I forget we live in a different generation now where the youths and them don't even think nowadays.
No, I get that. He's saying, "Oh, don't we not think that the kids
don't
not
listen to
they don't
Preach.
think."
Preach knew exactly what he just said. He's so shady.
let me close the door real quick. Yeah.
With technology the way it is in 2018, with the celebrity being killed, what makes them think that they're going to get away?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
They're going to get caught.
Yeah, but no one does crime thinking I'm going to get caught. Like they do it.
Maybe you should
their
start.
purpose is.
What
That's what we
education
gotta do.
system are
Maybe
they
you
in where they
should
don't
start.
understand it? We had ballistics class when we were in school, and they were upgrading technology. Whatever you do, you're going to eventually get caught.
I don't think some people don't really care about getting caught.
That's
that's
Unfortunately,
wrong.
You're
like
right.
the
And
real-
some people don't.
crazy to
Yeah.
you.
They're
Real.
actually more important rappers. No disrespect. Whose
Okay.
murderers are still running around chilling.
Yes.
So like,
Yeah, let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
So, recent news come out that Bill Cosby's wife, Camille Cosby, is a court apparently ready to divorce Bill Cosby. Now, listen, they've been married for how long? 70 years? Like they've been together for fucking ever.
if the divorce
Like
is
now,
still there.
all of a sudden, now it's the time. Like, oh, this is not gonna work out.
you
mean
think
to
it's
tell me?
more of a strategic thing though? Because like, I don't think the court case has now convinced her. Oh, okay, he did it. Like, I think either she felt he did it or didn't long ago.
Right.
I think maybe now it's a strategic thing. She's maybe
More
for
for
business
finances?
purposes
Yeah,
or
right,
something
right.
like that. I'm not sure.
To protect herself, I guess.
Correct.
I mean, she's still protected in a certain way as a, because like Bernie Madoff's wife she didn't lose everything. I mean, obviously she doesn't have the same amount of money as she had before, but yeah, maybe you're right. But my thing is they've been married damn near 30, 40 years, and all these allegations have been out for a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
He talked about Spanish Fly on a vinyl.
I don't know. It's a different animal sitting in court and hearing the details of the shit. Too,
That is true. Yeah.
like, can you imagine?
That's true.
Angelica says, "Too late, Camille."
But they said it was a rumor too because there's some stories that said that she was denying these allegations that she was filing.
People
a divorce.
usually don't admit that they're trying to
This is
seek
true.
divorce from their
Right.
celebrity husband who's going to a trial. But
And apparently, his grown kids they've been visiting her, but they have not been visiting him.
I mean,
So.
go figure, right?
My daddy's a predator isn't
Yeah.
the easiest Father Day card to
Exactly.
acquire. Yes.
They got to meet people in the street, so separation definitely is necessary.
Yo, and you got that last name too, Cosby.
Oh
It
yeah.
ain't like you were
Wherever
Henry
you
or some
go.
shit. You got
Williams.
Cosby.
legally change that name.
Jesus.
Yeah.
They
But
can change
all
the
the Madoff
cause.
family changed their last name. They changed their names.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, Madoff. I mean, a name like Madoff, they all
Oh
changed
yeah,
it.
you have to. Without a doubt, you have to. Let's get to number 4. So the Jay and Beyonce album came out this past week. It was a surprise. Came out last Saturday. What was everybody's reaction? What do you think about the album? The rollout? The person I feel worse for is Nas, because Nas released his album on Friday, and everybody's hyped off of that. And next thing you know, Jay comes out and says, "Oh, hold up, hold my drink," and then releases his album,
beef continues,
and all the hype is gone. Like
the beef is still there.
Sweet Chicks is closing down.
Shut.
Like
You want to be
everything,
under kill himself over here, guy?
like it's a wrap. So,
Up on the news?
what'd you think about the rollout, the album, the fact that they did an album together after all the speculation and all the talk on 444 and Lemonade?
No comments.
No, did you hear it? Because I didn't hear
I
it.
didn't hear it.
I heard that one song.
Wow, we definitely
Ape
can't do a
Shit.
music review.
I know, right? Jesus. Worst music review ever. I heard Ape Shit and I hated it.
Oh, I love
I
that.
couldn't stand it. Now, granted, I've been looking for a Beyonce Jay record because I like all their records together. If they put out 10 records together, I'll probably like 9 of them.
Right.
Until I heard that Ape Shit the other day and almost jumped
Ape
out the
Shit
window.
goes hard,
I could
I'm
not
sorry.
take it.
It's-
You liked it?
Ape
I could
Shit,
not take
I
it.
listened to the
Bree says
whole
he likes it.
album. I listened to the whole album. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the concept of it. I love.
They were honest on it as
They
well.
were very honest. They were very honest about it. I loved everything about the album. I loved the graphics for the album. Everything. I loved everything.
I like
about
the
album.
video. I mean,
the video. I love
they
the
rented
fact
out
that
the
they rented
Louvre.
up the Louvre.
Like, that's crazy.
Like they're dancing in front of the Mona Lisa. Like they're doing things that is not. We're not supposed to do these things. So I love the album.
fair.
And unfortunately, I didn't even. I think I went to go download Nas's album and I couldn't for a while or
Because you
something.
couldn't
And
find
then
JC
a couple
blocked
hours later,
No, but wasn't
No,
it on
that-
Tidal? Wasn't it
No.
on Jay-Z's
No,
platform?
no.
Really?
It was on Apple Music. It was delayed.
Yeah.
So it came out mid Saturday.
Jay's was on
That was the biggest problem.
I
Like
heard it's only 7 songs.
it's only 7 songs.
well, I think
Yeah.
every collaboration that
Kanye? Yeah.
did is very short.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because even
I have to get back to Coonin.
Pusha T's is
7.
short. I think Tiana Taylor maybe
8. Yep.
And
Hers
like,
was 8.
Yeah,
His
like
was 7.
they're-
Kanye's
his
was
is
7.
These
It's
are like borderline EPs. Like, what's
Yeah,
going
that's
on
what
with
it
that?
is.
Yeah.
Fun Flex was saying that he was playing a little bit.
But the
of
funny thing is, I see what he's doing though, just because I think the attention span of the listening audience is a
True.
lot shorter now.
True. That's a good
So
point.
I mean, like Chris Brown put out a 40-track album.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
people listen to
Kinda
5
ridiculous.
of them.
But I don't know if people still listen to, let's say,
Who got that kind of time?
No,
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 40
nobody.
songs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Be pleased.
But I don't
a
think
year.
people listen to like 14-track albums anymore.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear 15 minutes of an album either. Like,
Yeah, I
give me
mean,
something.
no, I think if it's good, then yeah, I think it works. If you think about it, Illmatic
That was a theme,
is
though.
8 songs.
It was short. Yeah, Illmatic's very short.
There's a skit in the
Steve.
beginning, and then there's 8 songs. So.
Lemuel says they look like royalty in the Ape Shit video. Yeah, the video's cool. I hate the whole trapping thing. I hate the way
Yeah,
Jay-Z
Jay-Z
raps.
cannot rap on
It
trap. He
bothers
can't do
me.
that. I love the song.
They're too
but he
nice
can't-
to be following these corny ass trends to me. Like both of them.
Well,
Or
you gotta
King,
move
Queens,
with
and
it.
No,
Yeah,
I
everything.
gotta
think,
move
but
with the
you have to
times.
move with
Yeah,
the
but you
times,
could be
though.
better
Yeah.
than what's current. You don't gotta like
Yeah.
join
Yeah, I hear you,
like
but
what they do.
I feel like if you never really was moving in that direction before,
'Cause 444 didn't do too well.
you know,
No, it did.
and they just
It
come
did
out
well.
and just start doing that now. It
No, it
will look
wouldn't.
kind of awkward because they never expected
But
that.
that's how
to
it
be-
looks. Yes.
No, but I get what you're saying. But at the same time, it's like, yo, all they know is Jay, and for some people, mightn't care really that yo.
So you
I don't think he looks like they're both in like a midlife crisis though.
No.
I think it's just them. I
It
think it's just
doesn't sound
them.
odd for them. It
I
sounds
don't-
it sounds on trend. Like
it doesn't to me.
Yeah.
It doesn't to me
Well,
at all. I don't like
an
it.
original follower from how Jay-Z started to now would say that.
I guess that's
what I'm saying.
me.
It's
Wait,
pretty much
but
all
you
of
guys
us.
gotta remember
But
too.
it's not even his shit. Doesn't have to sound like Reasonable Doubt.
No,
But it doesn't
no,
have to
no.
sound
But
like you're some 21 Jump
Mumble
Street
rapper, yeah.
trying
Right,
to
but-
blend in with the kids.
Right, but when he first started, he was rapping like Juvenile. He was rapping really, really quick and da-da-da-da-da.
Back in the day, yes.
Back in the day when he had on those Malibu-looking shirts.
Jay-Z
he didn't
dressing
sound
up as a
the
kid and going
Jay-Z.
to
I know, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Wearing some Supreme shirt. Yeah, it's like, what
His
is
first
this?
album to when Reasonable Doubt came in, he changed his flow, and his flow actually was more attractive then too. So I guess he's probably like circling.
Yeah,
back
but
to
you know,
how-
you're not in the game for almost 30 years without having to
Maybe, yeah.
adjust accordingly.
Right,
I mean, when everybody got on the Pharrell bandwagon, so did he. And he was one of the pioneers of the Pharrell bandwagon. True pioneer
was a
being
trendsetter.
Noriega.
Noriega.
True, yeah. Let's
One
be,
of the
let's
hardest
be,
songs
let's,
ever
let's
made
give credit.
in life.
Let's
Yeah,
give credit
absolutely.
where credit is due. But he realized, okay, we got to go with a different sound, and he adjusted accordingly.
The whole album is not like that.
Yeah, the whole album isn't
I
trap
hope the
though.
hell not. I want nothing to do with
it's
it.
not.
No.
The album isn't trap.
I'm dead ass. So I don't care. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, tell me whatever you want. I don't like any of that trap shit like that. I don't. Unless it's like T.I. something like that. If you know how
Fair
to
enough.
rap and do it, and it
Right.
doesn't sound too
Fair
ridiculous, fine. But like,
Right.
J
Mine
Lex
is the
says
SAT
Trini Mon
words.
is so knowledgeable, and I agree.
Oh yeah.
That point you just laid down, B.
Important.
Scoop.
Important.
Fire. Yeah.
All right, let's get to number 5. All right, so it's the end of an era. I want everybody's opinion on this because, I mean, I've watched this show. I know you've watched this show. There's been pretty much a lot of parodies of this show. Jerry Springer is going away.
Wait, he ain't gone yet?
Rest in peace.
You make it
He's
seem
not-
like he's going
he-
to jail.
Or dying.
The Jerry
Yeah,
Springer
he's
show will be no more.
Ugh.
When's the last time everybody here watched it?
I haven't watched that shit in years.
I was in high school.
I think Trini Man spoke for all of us.
I think after that DVD.
I didn't know that he was still on the.
Remember the uncensored DVDs?
Yes.
That was nice. I loved it.
Man.
Too hot for TV?
Yeah,
Yes.
I loved it.
What was the? So I guess I never got one of those. It was just titties.
Nah,
and-
not
on the-
you, no.
no, not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
I had standards, damn it. What was so? I guess that was it. Was just uncut cursing or what
And
was
yes,
it?
TNA basically.
Pretty
Yes.
much.
Oh, whose phone is ringing?
And fight.
I don't know what
No
that.
idea.
Trini Mon, that's not
I
you.
don't know what that is.
No, I don't
This sound real West. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
That was
one
you?
side.
Of course it was you.
That was my computer. I apologize, folks.
Good job. But yeah, man, like everybody,
No
they,
site,
but
By Chief Central says, "Stop it, Carl. You watched it in college, UC Commons."
See, if I can remember, because I'm so old, then I probably.
blame it on memory
what
loss.
a backpedaler!
Blame it on memory
Oh my
loss.
god!
Yeah. I really don't remember.
I can't
UC
hold.
Commons, I remember watching
Nah, son.
watching R. Kelly.
I was
watched
about
that
to
then.
say
Yeah.
every exclusive video that
I
came
did.
out,
We
we
watched
watched at your crib. To be fair,
But Jerry Springer was in high school, though.
I mean, it's high school. It's still
So
on
what?
now. So
Well,
it's
no,
in
I'm saying that
college,
when we
too,
watched
he's in
2 hour for
college.
TV.
So what?
But guys, you do realize, like at the peak of its popularity, it was one of the most premier shows on TV.
That's a fact.
Yeah, 11 o'clock every
Just
day.
because before Maury, I mean, Maury was always around, but I think before, like, Maury was a lot more of a serious talk show.
Yes.
And then he saw what Jerry Springer was doing. He was like, listen, we got to do some
It
different
was-
shit.
Right.
But he did a different lane with
Yeah.
the whole
Paternity test and
crap
that,
and all
yeah.
that.
This
He made his own
was,
lane with that.
Yo, he did come on after. Like he came on the scene after.
Maury?
Jerry
No,
Springer.
Maury.
if you think about, I think Jerry Springer, like, killed a lot of these
No.
talk
Yeah,
shows, like
Maury's
Ricky
been around.
Lake.
Yeah.
I think he
Maury's been around
dominated.
that long?
Maury's been around.
Well, Maury was on Current Affairs.
Yes.
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 Back in the day.
With his
Before
wife. With his wife.
him and Connie Chung.
Yeah.
Right.
So in that regard, he was out before Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer actually bit off Richard Bay.
Yes.
Yes.
Who-
yes.
Remember Channel 9? He was on
Bingo.
That's right.
Richard,
Bingo.
Richard
Right.
Bay
Yes.
was it at
Yeah.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely, yeah. And it was, but Jerry Springer dominated. I mean, I think he was the first to have the fights on the stage.
Yeah. No.
He was the first
Oh no,
Who
you're
first
right.
was?
Geraldo Rivera.
No.
Morton
Downey.
Downey Jr.
Yes, Morton Downey
I don't
Jr.
remember that
Remember
shit.
that
Morton
fight?
Downey
Crazy.
Al Sharpton?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, I don't remember that.
Oh my God, you already know.
Yeah.
So Al Sharpton, right? It's him and another brother.
Was he
Going
Haitian?
back and forth.
I think
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
yeah. Roy
Haitian,
Ennis.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Him and another brother. It's fat Al Sharpton, not the Al Sharpton that's
I mean,
posing
you
in
know,
the
he
I'm
down.
about to pull it up for you right now.
So anyway, they get to talking, fussing, blah blah blah. Roy Ennis raise up. Let me talk. Let me finish talking, brother. Al Sharpton was the second to stand up. I'll tell anybody, if y'all sitting down arguing, anyone stand up, you stand up immediately with them. Al Sharpton he's still chilling, got the gut out, he's still chilling. He raised up. Roy Ennis pushed him. All you see, Crystal's chair all over the place. Then crews come running on the stage, tussling with each other. This shit was so classic, yo.
Was that the Apollo?
Not, yeah, it might have been.
It
because
might have
he used
been,
to have
yeah.
some of his shows at the Apollo.
Yeah, didn't he rap in the intro?
Yo, he was a white dude, but he
Yeah,
would have
he-
his shows at the Apollo like for a week.
He was the man.
And invite like the Klan to come up.
I think he
Today's show, the Klan versus the Black Panthers, only on Morton Downey.
Jerry Springer was more of the relationships. I cheated on you with your brother, and blah blah blah. And oh, by the way, I'm not a girl. I'm a man, and all that type of shit.
All that fun stuff.
All that fun stuff.
Why
So
does Al Sharpton look like the Pillsbury Doughboy?
Because that's the 80s.
I remember him. Remember when his hair wasn't curled? Remember when it used to be just straight?
Well, you should have seen how the hair looked after his ass got tossed off that stage.
It was beautiful.
Unbelievable. All right, it's 10:40. I guess let's get to 10:30 because we don't have much time anyway. But so let's get to the story, I guess, of this week. And I guess we all can relate to a certain degree about this story because we all come from immigrant families. Okay, all of our parents weren't born here. I mean, Bino, your father was
born here.
Yes, my father was born here, but my mother was not. Yes.
Trini, man, you weren't born here.
No.
Clearly. So
you have ICE at our door right now.
No. I don't say it.
If I come on that door right now, they ain't taking me.
Don't worry, we're not.
Of course not.
We will
You'd be the last one they would take out of all of us.
They should take you.
So anyway,
you looked more from the island.
So anyway, obviously the big story of this week has been these kids and the separation of families, where you have, let's be real, Mexicans, okay, who were crossing the border, which is illegal. Like we can all agree to that. It is illegal. All right.
Sorry, Crystal.
Oh my God. I mean, now we have to turn off Crystal's mic. So Trini Man and Crystal's mic are going to get suspended.
Yikes.
I saw Al Sharpton rolling off the stage.
I tried to tell you.
Yes,
Yeah.
It was bad.
Voice, maybe we can wait till the break.
I'm sorry. No. He rolled like a butterball, though. That was a serious butterball roll.
I mean, we're at like Family Matters life lesson moment, and then Urkel walks in. Like, what are we doing? So anyway, yeah. So now they have these kids who are being separated from their mothers and their fathers, and you have these Mexicans who are crossing the border illegally, and so
way more than Mexicans.
Excuse me.
They're
More
way
than
more than
Way
Mexicans.
more Mexicans. There were
Guatemalans,
Guatemala, yeah.
Hondurians.
Salvador.
Absolutely. So, and the whole rhetoric has been, listen, we understand what they're doing is illegal, and you can deal with them whatever you want. Listen, President Obama was a deporter in chief. He had the highest rate of deportations out of any president. So that's real. Those are facts.
Yes.
But now they have this zero tolerance policy where now the idea is to prosecute the parents and then separate their kids from them. And now, I mean, everybody's been upset about it. When you're talking about CEOs, other members of the GOP have been upset about this. And now I guess Trump, political pressure caused him to say, I'm going to sign an executive order reinstating these kids to be rejoined with their families.
I think it was his wife.
Which meant nothing.
It meant nothing.
I think
Because if you think about it, I don't think they're keeping a log in any way of who belongs to who. So you have all these kids.
That is exactly what I was thinking. How are you going to return kids when you
like, this is not Target. Like, you can't sit in line and say, you know what I'm saying?
You can't. You
So
don't
let me
have your
ask
kid
a
in a lost and found.
So what is the purpose of separating them and keeping them in these concentration camps? What are you going to do with the children?
The same purpose of what you did in slavery.
Yes.
Because what happens now is you have all these kids who a lot of them are in our city, in New York City. Okay, now you have a lot of these kids who are now they're just kids who are roaming with no parent or whatever, and now you can have people, and I'm not saying this will happen, but it's not far fetched. You can have people say, "Oh, I would like to adopt this kid. I'd like to do whatever with this kid," and so on and so forth, and agendas get pushed upon them, or they get used for certain things, or you know what, they get abused in some type of way. I'm not saying in all instances. I'm just saying in certain instances. But why couldn't you just leave them with their parents, or just put them back in the van and bring them back to Mexico or wherever they came from?
Correct.
Because now they can't identify where they come from.
But now they have a bigger issue. How are you going to find out whose kid belongs to who?
Especially the kids, sorry to cut you, that are 8 months old and 7
Right.
months old. Like, these kids can't say to you, and you're traumatizing these kids. You're ripping them away from their parents, and you're putting them in holding cells, and they're sleeping under something that looks like foil. And you think because they're with other kids, they're okay. These kids are traumatized. They don't know where their parents are. You know, at a young age, you know your name, but not so much anything else. You don't even know where your parents are getting shipped to.
Right.
So you have nothing. You're eating things that you're not aware that you don't know what it is. You have to ask people things. You don't know who these people are. You don't know. and then these kids are of all ages.
And being abused.
The problem is
Horribly
the
abused.
kids don't know their parents' name at that age. Like let's say 3, 4 years old. Maybe they learn their mother's first name. But if you're an adult and you go to these kids and you say, okay, what's your mother's name? What's your full name? A lot of them don't know.
Correct.
Just know as mommy and daddy.
Yeah, they just know I know mommy.
Yeah, Antoine has a great point as far as them seeking asylum.
What did you say?
He's just saying they were seeking
They're
asylum.
sick- they
No,
were sick-
right,
It's not
exactly.
Like they were here,
Right.
You know what I mean? Just trying to live,
course.
free
Right.
or whatever.
Of course.
But even crazier than that, so originally there was a law that was out that you could not detain these children or families for a very, very long time. Obviously, after 20 days, I believe. Mm-hmm. So now they went as far as separating the children so they can get exactly what they wanted. So the fact that these children are being separated from their parents, now Trump is trying to do what he originally wanted to do, which is extend the time that these kids are being detained by using the parents to be reunited with them so they can keep them longer. That's pretty much what they wanted to do.
If you don't know who the family is, so you go.
They circumvented the law. What they wanted to do was they wanted to literally keep them longer. And being that that law allowed them not to do it, he did this so he can actually grant the extension and plead to pretty much Congress that this is the reason
So
why.
you're jailing these people that you don't
Yes.
quote unquote want. These kids
Wait.
are in jail. Like let's
Yes.
like the
That's
bigger
word.
picture of these 8-month-old to whatever 15, 16. They're in jail. And they're in jail because their parents wanted a better life for them. You imagine trying to do something for your child that's to betterment, for the betterment of your child, and then they end up in jail for no reason, and you don't even know where your children are?
They know what they're doing.
Of
They make it seem like
course
they're making it seem like they're dumb. Trust me, they know exactly
I
what they're
find
doing.
it so funny that Americans, United States of America, and European countries in particular, are so funny about people entering their country illegally. It's the funniest
Where-
thing.
Oh no, you
Exactly.
don't.
The
You
irony
know,
of it all, right?
You know, there's a
Funniest.
difference between immigrants and settlers.
Help me out here. What
Yeah.
would the,
Really?
Exactly.
the difference being skin color?
Yes, exactly.
White people, they settle into places. They gentrify
Well,
places.
settle your asses back to where you came from.
Right.
How about that?
DeAndre says that foil blanket is something the Red Cross uses to radiate heat. I don't care what it is. It's not no regular blanket that some kid had with at home.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, maybe we don't do the cages. Maybe.
Yo,
I'm just saying.
Maybe.
Maybe
I'm
we
like,
don't
yo,
do that. I mean,
This is great for how we look abroad.
I'm telling you.
By saying like, yo, if your whole purpose was to get everybody out of the country, right? Why you holding each other on them for? If your whole plan was to deport, you come in my country, deport.
right.
Fine, you're gonna deport.
They're preparing for something big.
Don't sit down there and then be like, hey, well, we're gonna deport you, but we're gonna hold your child. What you holding my child for?
Because what happens is it then becomes cheap labor and slave labor,
Thank you.
and you start rewinding the time because
Which
these
is
kids
similar.
have
But we
nobody
already
to go to.
but
Which
we
is
already-
similar to our
Which is
enemy
what this
countries, right?
economy was built
hold
on.
Right.
But we already rewind the time.
No, we
already
didn't.
see-
We're backtracking
We're
because some of these
backtracking.
countries that we're now becoming friends with are similar. And we're creating enemies with the allies that
Don't
don't,
you
do
dare
it.
talk about Mother Russia this way. Don't
I'm
you?
just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You just notice notice the comparisons and irony of it
Right.
all.
Yeah. What are
Yo,
they gonna?
hold up. Let me read something real quick. Angelica, she brings up a valid thing here. Melania's "I don't care" jacket was foul. What do we all think about this jacket here?
Yeah, that
I mean,
was.
first of all, talk about
Serious.
out of touch.
And then
First of all,
but it wasn't. I'm sorry.
The flood with the flood in Houston, she wore Christian
Heels?
Louboutin Pagals, right? 5-inch heels, no sole, painful shoes, walking up, and then realized what she was doing and change on the plane. That Zara jacket came out 3 or 4 seasons ago. Everything that people wear, especially in the public eye, is calculated
Yes.
from a
There's no-
year
there's no-
prior.
Especially
They
the
have
first lady.
Exactly.
Right.
She's a public figure. She knew exactly what she
Absolutely.
was doing with that jacket, and no one else can tell me otherwise.
So what was the message? She was
totally agree.
sending them
Because on the
She
back of the
does
jacket
not
it says,
care.
"I don't care."
Yes.
Do you?
Do you?
Yes. And you saw Trump's response on the Twitter.
But my
I
fa-
didn't see it.
Oh, she was talking about the fake news media.
Yes.
Yeah,
But my
what?
thing is, nobody in the administration looked at the coat and said, "Maybe you should not wear that on the way to the plane."
But they
The
don't
amount
listen.
of
They don't listen to
the
them.
amount of handlers, and then she's sitting in the meeting, and they're telling her, "Oh, I'm the head therapist, and we help the kids with this, and we help the kids with that." But then you hear the reporters outside saying these kids have mentally shut down. They're not even talking. Like they don't even know.
And by the way, it didn't even look like she was in the same place as these other kids.
Did
Like,
you hear her talking? She was like, "Okay, next to you." Okay, you speak now. Like what?
Yo,
But the
easy.
fact that they
Wait,
gave
she
Obama
real
so much
foreign,
grief, they
Yes.
gave Obama so much grief about that tan suit, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And then they
and the
gave
arm.
Michelle issue about having her guns out. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So like,
Yep.
but this is acceptable.
This is acceptable.
Yo, you're
It's
right.
the country
they're
we live
backward.
in, man.
Yo,
They're going backwards. They're back. Yeah.
This is
No, they
crazy.
backward, they just lost.
And then the funny thing is,
you have the management and they're just losing everybody.
the crazy thing about this is that a lot of people say, well, why don't they just do it the right way? You know how long it is to get citizenship in this country?
Oh man.
I've heard from 10 to 15 years.
Yes.
It
Get
takes-
citizenship?
Yes. Well, no. If you let's say you're in Mexico, right, and you're trying to become a citizen and do it the right way, go through immigration the proper way to be a legal citizen, it takes about 10 to 15 years.
Really?
That's if they don't. That's if they plan to never give it to you and they string you along. Because I know some people that got it in 6 months.
I was about to
Oh,
say,
see,
I ain't even trying to be
I-
funny, but how long did it take for you to
It
get
didn't
yours?
take me that long.
Right.
How long
what
did
is
it?
that long?
What was the
How many
what was
years were you here?
the what was the process? Are you? Oh wait,
Yeah.
no. In all seriousness, Trinity man,
2002.
are
I
you
got my own
you're considered
last year.
now you considered a
Last
U.S.
year?
citizen?
Huh?
Now you considered a U.S. citizen.
If I, yo,
But listen to what he said.
Answer that on this, boy, yeah, man.
But you came in what year? 2002, right?
I don't know what
When did
I-
you get your citizenship?
Last year.
Thank you. It still took long.
No. I didn't apply for it though. I didn't apply
Right.
until last year for it.
And then you
Oh,
got
okay.
it
And
when?
I get in the same year.
Right. Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
it didn't
A lot-
take long for me. That's why I'm like, wait, it does take that long?
Right.
Well, then
Yeah,
he had his
Right.
residencies and all that stuff too.
Yeah,
so
I
that
had
probably-
residence.
But you were a resident, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
a
he was
resident.
But
and all them
even
things.
if, the,
Yeah.
right, my whole thing is they're not stupid. It's like anything
Yeah.
else. If they don't want you to do it, they're gonna put you to the back of the list. I know
Exactly.
people
I agree
who've
with that.
gotten it in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's
6
crazy.
months.
It's just, somebody, I see somebody saying money. I didn't have any money at the time, but it's just that I just spoke to the people and them who was assisting
Lord.
me for what he was of it.
Somebody turn his light off in there, please.
You know, they was assisting you for the time, and then you get what you had to get. You know what I mean?
Well, we're glad to have you.
We're great. Yeah. I mean, we just don't want you to, be sent back to Trinidad, man. As long as you stay with us.
No, because he was wild nervous when you asked him that
know.
citizen question. I thought we had an exclusive.
Put
He
him
was,
in.
he was,
His
his peripheral vision was looking at the door like, ICE is not gonna come
What
in
is a citizen? He's about to be out. So I'm glad you got
ICE
this.
not holding.
No, man. No.
Imagine
Ice
him
can hold you
having-
down. You got it.
Imagine them having a baby treaty man in the cage.
Oh, my God.
That's not
Come
even
on,
funny,
side.
yo.
Come on, side. There,
Stay in your
man.
room, preach, stay in your room.
Oh, man. Lord! What do you ask, Lord?
Yeah, you real Jamaican, you know.
Trini, man, chill.
Yo, chill
Again,
out.
like I said, man, we're
no,
just glad
listen,
to
it's
have
an
you, right?
unfortunate situation, and obviously he now, I guess, for political points, he's signed the executive order, which pretty much does
He
nothing.
reversed what he did.
He prefers. He said, "Oh, you know what? Maybe I fucked up." So, and then, oh no, this is what kind of really pissed me off. I really hate that he did this. So then he has a press conference of victims, well, families of victims who have been assaulted or killed
that was
by illegal immigrants.
Classic.
So we're gonna nitpick crimes now.
Yes.
That's how we do it. So whatever your agenda pushes, we just use that group of people, and hey, this is running rampant. Look at this.
Pretty much. That's what happens every day.
That is
Listen,
what
but
everyone
them
does,
bad
yes.
guys with them people with tiki torches were good guys.
So, some
So
of
you
them
mean
were
to
actually
tell?
decent guys.
So
yes.
you mean to tell me all the immigrants that come through this country are like they kill people? Like no white American has killed a person.
Hey, better be careful what you're saying.
Hi,
The
George
FBI
Zimmerman.
will listening on this, right?
That's crazy. But we're gonna nitpick and pick these families, and I'm not trying to diminish, their loss or anything like that. By all means, I understand you losing a loved one in the hands of somebody who is illegally in this country. Yes, you'll have some animosity. I don't doubt that at all. But then to use them as a pawn to push your agenda like this problem is rampant is ridiculous. Oh, look at all the kids in the cages, but look at these families.
Yo, yeah,
They lost their loved
did
ones
you hear what the reporter say on Fox News about that?
It was more like a. It was more
The
like
way
a.
you say Fox is so offensive to me.
Fox News, yes. It definitely sounds like profanity.
Yeah.
No, not what the Fox. Fox.
He can't say that.
Okay, it's all right. It's okay.
Hey, yo, Lee Trinity man.
You know,
alone,
he
man.
just got his
Yeah, it's
citizenship
Fox
last year.
News.
Did anybody else hear that
No, but
besides me?
it's not the F word news. It's,
So what do they say on Fox News?
When they was talking about one of the reporters was saying that
It's more like
her
Club
black
Med?
friend. No. One of she spoke to black people and they were like they would prefer to live there than live in
In the ghetto. In the ghetto, yeah.
I was like, but what do you
Live in the projects is what they said.
because
Yeah.
people from the projects went
Yeah.
to visit those camps.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I was like, yo,
anybody
who
ever
wanna live
seen
in
apartments
fire?
in a project?
They also said that the concentration camps or whatever they want to call them actually were in good condition.
I was like, yo, how do you fire? What is that
They have
concentration
video
camp?
games. And
Or a jail?
fire.
It's a
Yeah.
regular Carnival cruise line, I'm sure. Yes.
Right.
You never seen these apartments in a first of all, the project got the best
Yes, they do.
water pressure in
And
life.
heat.
Okay.
I know you here for that heat.
You know I'm here for that heat.
Them walls be sweating, boy. Yes, the heat.
And the bedrooms be mad. They're huge.
They're big, yes.
Oh,
Especially
man.
in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You get you a Brooklyn prop, man. Listen.
And you know when a new leasing office comes in, they start painting the walls. And stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to projects. Like,
I'm telling you.
oh,
We're
Yeah,
gonna
but
talk
Just
about
saying.
that.
they're trying to control that too
saying.
now.
But does anything?
trying to take them
But think
to
about it
another
as.
level.
But think of it like this: as a kid, though, do you really care about what surrounds you? If somebody took you away from your mother or your dad,
Thank you.
no.
It's
you don't
unfamiliar
give
territory.
it. You can have an Xbox One right in front of my face, but if I don't know where my dad is or my mom is, and I'm yelling out "mommy" or "daddy," I don't give a shit about Halo.
At 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, when you can
Exactly.
barely communicate, like you're leaving, and then you see your mother panicking. That's gonna cause you nightmares.
So, hold on. So my man Reggie asked the question. Shout out to the homie, by the way. He says, "Do you guys believe that illegal immigration is a major problem facing our country? What do you propose we do about it?"
Do we? Do I
It is
believe?
not.
No, well, no, because obviously the previous administration they deported people at a record pace.
Yes.
So how much of a problem? See, here's the thing. Like, I don't know if it's a huge problem because, let's be real, they do the jobs that none of you motherfuckers want to do
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Listen,
See, all of y'all who
Uh,
are like small business owners in particular,
Absolutely.
you have no problem hiring these people, paying them
Absolutely.
$2 an hour.
I
It
can't-
didn't become an issue until your boy said it's an issue. Then all of a
Right.
sudden,
First of
shit, they
all-
got to get out of our country.
Yes.
Right.
First of all, how many people that I know, homeowners, executives, oh, I'm going to Home Depot and I'm going to pick up
Exactly.
literally these people who do it for
Yes.
$5, $10, and they do a great
Yes.
job. A lot of them, and they will tell you, are illegal immigrants. But before that, this country was built on, like,
Yes.
they came, they killed all the Native Americans here, and this is not
Yes.
their country.
Yeah, it was
Corinne has a great response to that question, actually, and I don't know if she's answering that question, but I'd like to use her response to answer that question. She says, "White racist people are America's biggest threat, domestic terrorism."
Absolutely.
Like, that's a huge thing. If we focused on that, see, it's one thing to focus on illegal immigration, but every time someone goes into a church or movie theater, etc.,
man.
just ignore the shit. You understand what I'm saying? So, like,
Let's
if
go to
it was
a Vegas
across the
concert.
board,
Yes.
Right.
yeah, if this focus from this administration was across the board on everything, including black on black crime, not just black on black crime, but urban inner city crime, etc.,
right.
then we'd have something to say here. But
Yes.
when you just poke out, oh, the Mexicans are raping people and they're blah 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 blah, you sound crazy.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy.
And it's crazy. Like, I don't understand what I used to do inspections at these country clubs, and so they're affluent, they're rich and white, and they're right winging and all that stuff. And then when you go to these basements of these country clubs, they're all Mexicans.
I find it.
And I remember walking in, and they all thinking I'm an inspector,
Yes.
thinking that I'm
Go to the back of any pizzeria
oh,
in this city.
I'll give you an even better story. So we had a customer that literally is a white supremacist. I think he is.
Okay.
Because he was always talking about all this stuff and praising Trump and everything like that, right?
Right.
So I caught him at Home Depot, and he was asking where can he find these, quote, Mexicans so he can actually get them the job. An
Right.
employee of the company said they're usually in the back parking lot. If you don't see them, they're already bought. The same person.
Listen, and to piggyback off of what Preach just said about like domestic terrorism and the Vegas shooting. Before then, anybody remember Timothy McVeigh? You remember
McVeigh,
him?
Vegas,
absolutely.
yeah, Vegas.
Absolutely.
This is the
This was-
Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In 19, what was that,
Yes.
95?
95.
You know
95.
how many kids he killed in 95? And
Right.
you know how long it took them to kill him?
right.
Like, this is not, and people, they were like, this is such a sad story. Not, it was terrorism. He blew up a building.
Yo, listen. What white person only knows that terrorist in this country? It's
Well,
not
we name
no,
them.
No. It's
No,
not
no.
no.
You're talking about the titles given to
Oh,
them.
the
basically.
title
Exactly.
given to them, no.
Sorry.
Right.
Thanks for rectifying that.
Yeah.
Right.
But look at all that. Them fellas don't get looked at as terrorists.
Like the
and
shoot-
them is clear terrorists.
You know what's
Them
funny?
killing thousands of people.
The funny thing
Hundreds of
after
people.
that Vegas shooting, right?
And he still didn't
What's
get looked
the-
at as a friggin' terrorist.
What was the agenda that we had to focus on from the right that could have fixed that? Because let me ask you a question: if that guy in Vegas was an illegal Mexican that shot all the kids, this is why deportation has to be
Yes.
number one on
Of
our damn
course.
list. This is why
And it's
deportation
madness.
is number freaking one. And by the way, like those jobs I was mentioning, I don't think any of the people who are so upset about these people who are coming across the border, they're not going to go in the fields and pick
Who's gonna trace a
strawberries
chicken?
and
Y'all not going
Who's
not
gonna
use
choose a
them.
chicken?
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So-
exactly.
The hardest
it's not-
job there.
Yeah, and it's not like they don't want to work. They're standing there because they want to make an
To make
honest
our money.
living.
I
And
hope-
them not making, and the sad thing is, them not making any money for them, eh? They're making any money to send it
family.
back home.
All of them live in like a 2-room shack.
right.
Yeah.
Not
Not
all of
even.
them, but like
Not even
most
a
of
lot
them.
of them.
Yeah,
A
like
lot of
live
them.
like
Two of them
8
is
of
like
them
about
in a 1-bedroom.
plus.
It's crazy.
And the crazy thing is, it's like
I'm not worrying about them.
it's. I wish, and I don't know if they economically they could do it for themselves, but I wish like every immigrant who comes to this country who are doing these low-paying jobs that nobody wants to do, I wish they could all just strike in one day. You know how much of an impact that would have
Big time.
Are you
on
kidding
this country?
me?
Yeah,
Are you
man.
kidding me?
It ain't going to last long.
Restaurants
And
were shut
again,
down and everything
They ain't gonna
else.
last
Forget
long.
that.
Forget
gonna
all
last
this
long.
other shit. Let's talk about immigrants for a second. Eastern European immigrants
Right.
are the biggest welfare frauding people in the world.
Mm.
When are you getting up there saying, yo, we have to do something about the welfare system and the fraud that's taking
That we
place
pay
from these
for.
Eastern European immigrants? When?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Nope.
Okay, then. So that's why we look at y'all like, come on.
Yeah, it's
It's not an attack on immigrations or illegal immigrants.
right.
It's an attack on Mexicans.
But if let's say
Period.
this, let's say these kids were blonde hair, blue eyed kids, I don't imagine they would be in cages. Let's be honest with ourselves.
True.
I don't see these kids in cages at all, yelling
Yo,
for their
you
mommy.
know what kind of
No, there would be a
insanity-
GoFundMe wanting to adopt them.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
just is what it is. Like,
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Let's take a quick break. Call us up 516-900-2278. When we come back, we have a new. What are we calling these people? These people who call the cops for black people who are trying to do work and grab themselves by the bootstrap. What do we call these people now?
I have a word for it, but I don't think it's safe to put it on the air.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Your Fox News is already profanity.
With
Please.
my fellow Fox News now.
All right, Sunday morning breakfast. We'll be right back. All right, Sunday morning breakfast. Woof, woof. Ow.
Yeah.
Here we go. Sunday morning breakfast. Call us at 516-900-2278. All right, so there's this little girl. This is out in Oakland. I don't know what's in the water in Oakland because it wasn't the previous.
Yes, it was in San Francisco. Yes.
Right, the woman who canceled the barbecues, canceling Christmases and barbecues. Wow. So this little girl, black girl, was selling water on the corner, right? And then they come. The backstabbers, they smile in your face. She comes around, decides to call the cops on this little girl because she doesn't have a permit.
Wow.
Let's get to this video. Here's what she had to say.
This woman don't want to let a little girl sell some water. She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl. The whole world goes.
Let me stop it there. What is your dumb ass doing?
I love the ducking, yo.
Let's go back on that stupid shit. What are you doing?
You want the whole world. She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl. You can hide all you want. The whole world gonna see you, boo.
Yeah, and illegally selling water without a permit? Yeah.
On my property.
It's not your property.
Wow. So, she has garnered the hashtag Permit Patty.
Yes.
Where do we start with the?
Turn my shit down, son. Turn it
Your
down.
headphones are down.
Really loud.
But it keeps
Feedback.
feedback.
It's feedbacking from the headphones.
All right, let me. I'll have to get up and do that. But all right, so you guys give your opinions real quick on this whole situation of what happened out in Oakland.
First of all, what kind of person runs up on a child demanding to see a permit over water?
This one.
Who
8
are
years
you?
old.
This one.
But your regular job, you have nothing to do with that in the first place. Like, you understand what I'm saying? You don't work for like a zoning or anything of this nature. Like, what is that about?
Yo, but I remember back in the day, kids were allowed to like put lemonade stands and
Yes.
thing out.
Mind
in
you, this is
areas.
water.
And it is a special bottle. She was a bottle
Listen,
that wasn't supposed to
she's
be
8.
advertised.
You call the cops on an 8-year-old. On top of that,
A black 8-year-old.
right? Yesterday, I was working in the city, and my boyfriend saw a kid selling like some type of like cookie or whatever, like for fun. Had to be around 8 to 10 years old. He bought all of everything that was in there,
Right.
and let him keep the product so he could make more money. He was like, you just keep the money, and other security guards gave him money too. Like, why can't you support? Why are you doing this to this little girl when she's trying to do something good?
She couldn't last here in New York. Because first
Not
of
at
all,
all.
just sitting on a
she would've
train.
got cursed
Oh my
out.
The
god.
amount of things people sell on a train without permits.
Then I
I
slap her
could be
with it.
selling
You
drugs,
imagine?
but I'm selling
you know the
Skittles.
speech.
Yeah,
You know the
what?
speech. They got the fruit snacks.
Yeah. Miss. It's
Yeah,
only
I'm
a
out.
Yo,
Yeah,
my
dollar.
basketball team is trying to go to a
Yeah,
tournament.
that's
I just,
Yeah,
because I could be on the streets, B, but instead I'm
Yeah.
trying to sell you these gummy bears.
My mother single, and I just want to make some extra dollars.
Yo, but
And
you
you
gotta
give
be a
to
special
them.
kind of miserable, yo, to mess with these kids. But the one thing I like about this story as compared to the other ones, I found her Instagram page.
Yeah, come to find out, isn't she on some weed advocacy?
She is a cannabis oil, but weed for dogs. I
What?
can't make this shit up. Cannabis oil for dogs that I guess heals their afflictions or whatever. I don't know what it is, but that is her deal. So she does that, and she's a lesbian. Which goes to Preacher's normal point about these quote unquote liberals that be just as racist and bigoted
Yes.
as their counterparts on the right.
Yes.
Well, no doubt. Anyway.
That's real.
So what did the
I'm
cops
sorry,
do?
but that's
'Cause I
just
never saw
real.
the end of this. Did the cops tell the lady to get out of
No,
here?
I mean the video is quite short. I mean we could play the rest of the video. Let me see.
It had more to that.
I think that was pretty much it. This is the
Yeah,
news story.
I feel.
Permit Patty.
That was Gabrielle Union's comments about the whole situation. No, that was pretty much it. The video is quite short.
On my
So.
property.
It's not your
An
Also, we don't
8-year-old
know what the
But
girl
how
sells some water.
how you as a person gonna tell
This
me
woman don't want to let a
not my
little
property,
girl
it's
sell
not your
some
property.
water. She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl. You can hide all you want. The whole world gonna see you, boo.
To do all this just to get a 5-minute satisfaction. Just
Yeah, I
to be
feel
honest.
like that's all it was.
On my property.
It's not your
Like to
property.
go this far.
I feel like
Yo, but did y'all hear her excuse today?
No,
was
they-
it? Oh, yeah,
She
what
came
was
out,
it? She did
she
come
came
out.
out and said, this is Permit Patty now. She came out and said she was stressed, and that's what led her to bother this little child. She was going
Stress
through some
allowed
things.
her
Yes.
to bully a little kid.
This, to be fair, this is better than the Ambien thing that Roseanne tried to pull a few
I was
weeks
gonna
ago.
say, is this
What's her Instagram
another
page?
I'll give
pharmaceutical
it to you
thing?
later. I found it somewhere.
Is another pharmaceutical
Please,
situation?
I was all under her pictures too, making remarks.
Gosh.
Yes.
All right, let me play.
Look at this little girl.
She's a cute thing
This
too.
woman
Yeah.
don't want to let a little girl sell some water. She calling police on an 8-year-old little girl.
Hey,
You
Loke.
hide
Whoever's
all
doing the
you want.
captions is great.
Oh,
White
yeah.
privileged punk ass bitch.
Selling water without a permit? Yeah.
On my property.
It's not your property. You're on.
But then,
Cold water for $2.
Oh,
I mean,
I taste your
Don't want
shit.
to let a little girl sell some
and you know who's
water.
usually selling water? If I would be upset, I wouldn't be her. I'd be the Mexicans because usually the Mexicans do that.
Now.
Nah,
That's real.
Not only them.
Not all of them. I'm just saying when you're on the Van Wyck, they have the
This is
roses, they have the newspapers, they have the
Father's Day.
oranges.
You got all the Mother's Day gifts.
Boulevard.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
Selling crabs.
I ain't lying. Thank
So
you.
Maya B says the company put out a statement they are no longer dealing with her in any capacity. Yes, we don't want weed for dogs being confused with petty race.
You know what's crazy though? Isn't it amazing how a 30-second clip can ruin your whole life?
Yeah.
But like, well,
Internet
she had to have seen
could
what
ruin
happened
your
to
life.
the barbecue snitcher. So
Of
like,
course, that's what.
what would make you think you
That's
want
why
some of
she
this
bet
action?
down. That's why she bet down and tried to hide. Like, I don't know if she was hiding. She must have sucked at hide and go seek.
Wow.
She just bent down and tucked herself in, and it's like,
No, because she didn't expect anybody to catch you on camera doing what she was doing.
No, it looked like there was some discussion going on between the two of them before.
it's just stupid.
Yeah.
Get a life.
Yeah. Well,
Like, and if that's the case, if it was what she was doing wrong, that's for the authorities. Like, if there's a building enforcement or management company, or if there's actual police, let them handle it.
Again, this is New York.
I'm not
Like,
gonna lie.
they're in
though.
Cali, but here in New York, like,
I
you
would
would
say
not
the
survive.
city, Long Island, they do it there
See,
too.
people
Where I work,
on Fifth Avenue, people are selling fake bags and shit.
Oh, and they get away
got
with it.
permits.
All
My
of
part of
Canal
mixtapes.
Street.
You know they sell the mixtapes on 42nd Street.
I'm not gonna lie.
All
to
of
you.
Canal
Fifth
Street.
Avenue.
Somebody tried to
Oceanside,
put the tape in my hand the other day. What?
where I work at Oceanside,
You got the no thank you.
similar situations to this occurred, and the elderly people actually have been calling cops on the kids.
In Long
Asking them-
Island?
Yes.
Again, New
Yes.
York City?
New York City, they wouldn't
luck
do
with
that,
that.
but
Yep.
Long Island has their taste. They have.
Yeah, well, Long Island's a different friggin' type of environment compared to
I agree with you.
the New York. You know what
I agree with you.
And that is why half of the shit that be going on with some of these little youths and them, and everybody's shock and loss are what going on.
I'm just saying, son. If you needed a permit to have a business here, yo, we'd have no
No,
business.
we'd have no
Like,
business.
get out of here.
We have no business.
Please.
Yeah.
All right, and then this other video. So I don't know if you guys saw this. So this cop was recently fired for excessive use of authority. So I guess his daughter dates a black guy, right?
Serious?
His daughter dates a black guy, and I guess he has his own car, and his daughter's in the car. He decides to pull it over, and this is what he says in their confrontation during the stop.
He pulled them over with a cop car, right?
Yeah,
Mind you.
he's speeding fast.
You hear this madness.
What is wrong with this guy?
So he just walked in the car and just
He just
Open
walked to
the
the car
door.
and tried to open the door.
You can get out. You're going to jail.
what?
Get out. Have a seat in my car. We'll make it up as we go.
We'll make shit up as we go.
Did he not know he was being recorded?
Wait,
I mean, come
Any
on.
guns, knives, weed on you?
What?
What's that?
Now let's go back to this thing again. Let's wait. Let's pause it right there. We're gonna pause this right now,
hold on.
guys. Now let's do a PSA for these cops. Okay, you guys do understand how body cams and car cameras work, right? Do you guys do realize how these things work?
I think technology changed for me. B.
Hold on. Let's help these guys out. They record visual and audio of whatever you do. You do realize that.
But you know what, though? I think they get used to it being on to the point where they forget
forget.
that it's on.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why this guy would just reveal
it
his
used to
whole
be
evil
sometimes
plot
covered up. Yeah.
with no regard to the fact that he's being taped.
So now he's gonna go. I think he's now looking for his daughter, and I think she's in the back seat of the car. Let's play the video.
Go ahead, get smart before I can do something to you, even more.
Nice.
Like shoot you.
So he
I think I'm playing with you. Have a seat.
So mind you,
We could pause it for
everything in this is everything you do not do. Like they teach you this not to do in the academy. Like he already broke like 15 rules already.
Yeah, it's not
So-
arrest anyone over some personal shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You ain't have a reason to arrest the man. Yeah,
There's no probable cause.
No probable cause.
You didn't tell the person why you stopped them. You said in broad day, I'm gonna make shit up as we go.
Yes. So before they get to the precinct, he'll have a bunch of charges.
Yes.
And
Yes.
he even radio a teen.
No, he didn't radio.
He did not radio a teen.
He
He didn't read
So
the kid
now-
his rights,
He
anything of
really
the
didn't.
nature.
So something happened to that officer now.
He's
Right?
Right.
Who was in the right and who was in the wrong?
Well, usually being black means you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, yeah,
we'll stay to
Especially
the
if you're, dating the daughter of a.
All right.
Around at close 12. Bill's advising a white female in a blue sheet, threatening them with a gun. She's in a Ford Focus, maroon.
Mind you, he's ignoring. So there's a real crime going
like
on.
a bank robbery
Yeah.
and a hostage standoff. But he's here thinking of what to put on this kid.
She also called in and said he's right here, so she did show him in. She has a 1015 permit.
Your dad know my daughter's in your house?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Or is your ma there?
We'll double check and make sure she has that 1015.
Somebody trying to blow up a city building right now.
In regards to the CCW permit, we're going to need a birthday for her.
All right, we're gonna fast forward this. Guys.
I have my seatbelt.
Go back in your house. Oh, you do.
How I'm going to tell the judge that you came to my house, you asked
You're being
me, can
disorderly.
you search?
Would you like to show?
Wait.
You making this
You're being
personal.
disorderly.
How am I being disorderly?
She wasn't wearing a
I
seatbelt.
was wearing my seatbelt. How am I being disorderly? You making this personal. You want to seek at my daughter because you think your daughter is in my
No,
house.
she wasn't
But
wearing a
whatever
seatbelt.
is going in your person.
It's
That's
on
not his
video.
daughter.
You shouldn't take her with
No.
the uniform.
But his
So
daughter's
he
is.
wasn't daughter?
But his daughter's in the back seat. I think she was hiding.
You're being disorderly. Would you like to?
How am I being disorderly?
I'm trying to conduct an investigation. You're obstructing me.
Because he's a detective.
Obstructing me.
For your daughter, you're using police time.
You're
using
obstructing me.
department time.
This is your last warning.
I'm going to call 911. because
You
you're
call
abusing
911.
Now let me ask you. That's crazy. You have to call 911 or 911.
Yo, but that's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
How you calling 911 on 911? I feel like, yo.
No, she has to.
Hey, she
You
ain't
gotta
got no damn choice.
No, she has to.
When
She
is
has
the
to.
daughter
Get
Get
like-
the captain.
I
Get the
want to
captain.
know when the
Hold on,
daughter's
hold
gonna
on.
bust out.
No, right here.
Hold on.
Dad, I hate you.
I didn't even see you. Get out of the car. Get in my car. Go ahead. You guys are good. Ma'am, they could go with you.
Dad, I like Raheem.
She's all embarrassed.
You serious?
I like being in the hood.
Oh god.
Crystal, that's not right.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Get in my car.
You can't. You can't take me. I am 18.
Oh, I can't.
Goodbye.
As long as you live under my roof.
No, you're not. Get in my
I'll
car.
arrest your boyfriends all I
Get in
want.
my car.
Why are you taking me?
Sweet mama said the lady ain't with the shits.
Why are you pushing me? Why are you pushing me?
Oh my god.
That's his daughter?
That's his daughter.
Clearly, preach.
Get in my car.
I know his black ass better haul ass.
Hell out of there.
Fool, you better get out of there. What the hell he doing?
Take all your shit with you.
Oh, no, no.
Man, I drove with it.
He's giving her stuff.
The other way.
I think he's
Where is he
giving her back
doing?
the phone.
I don't give a shit about her phone, man. The cops say go.
Yo,
What is he doing?
I'll put it on the floor.
Bro,
That's her stuff right there.
she
Right
can
there.
holler.
I would.
I'd have left that shit at the mall. You better go to the front desk of the mall. What is he doing?
But no, it'll bring more reason.
B, what is that, a
Don't
Buick?
you.
It'd be a Porsche by the time I'm
Pontiac. It's
done.
Pontiac, actually.
You'd see the fire and hear the tire screech.
But
What
I'm
is he
saying
doing?
no, he have something to come and hunt.
No, son, please. He's wrong.
He's lucky he's
let's
still
watch
alive.
it.
I want to be recording
Let's
that,
watch
man.
this
Left
and
them
real.
on the sidewalk.
Let's watch the
And that's what I
thrilling.
was saying. I'll leave it on the street or something and be like, yo, that is all she stuff there.
get
Let's
I like
watch
that.
the thrilling conclusion
Eddie
of,
Winslow, damn
I
fool.
want to
Of
keep
Karen
hearing
and
her
Raheem.
screaming.
Let's go.
Knock it off.
But you gonna slap? She gonna slap?
So he's gonna arrest his own daughter?
You wait, this black boy
He
gonna
better
talk.
leave so
Hold
much
on.
he do
You're
nothing.
grounded.
The black boy gonna
Saw
talk.
her yesterday.
Hold on.
I'm not. You weren't even with me yesterday.
Just like, well, Friday. Get in the car.
Friday, I was not.
Get in the car.
Tyrone, get out of here.
He was only supposed to get shit the thing and drop the thing off and then go on.
You can't.
Harboring a fugitive.
Get in the car.
I'm not.
Wait, Black Boy fighting for shit
What's
there?
going on, Grandma? You're ruining it.
Because you think of what? She's going to the hospital because she said she was going to kill herself Friday.
Yo, the man take the girl and gone.
Yeah, he's out of there.
He kidnapped his own daughter.
B.
Yo, because she mad.
So did they fire him, or is he on paid leave?
No, they fired him.
Wow.
They fired him.
They fired him.
They fired
But
him.
most likely for
They
what
don't-
he
they
did
don't-
to his own daughter, not necessarily
Yeah.
black guy.
Exactly.
Listen, the black kid. Yeah,
Exactly.
we get it.
He was
Yes.
fired, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yo, could you imagine that
God bless
family
America.
dinner the day after he
I
got
know.
fired?
Makai, what is it? Makai.
Can you please pass the peas, please?
Yes.
Makai.
Fuck you, Dad.
You should
You
make
heard the
him. You
Makai
don't have
part,
any work
yeah.
anymore. Yes. You've been sitting on your ass all day.
She's off for her psychiatric
Yo,
hold.
her father can't say shit. He don't got a check coming in no more. He's just sitting there
because-
chilling.
Now
Yo.
Makai makes
man.
more money than him.
I know, right?
Big piece of chicken,
Exactly.
please.
Daddy, I'll be having the pork chop today. Yo,
Eric O'Neill
Don't pass
says.
me that potato salad.
yo, he
got-
opened the door with an apron on and oven
Baby
mitts.
boy,
I got a comment.
you want some eggs?
So stupid.
The only thing you're brutalizing is those eggs.
Makai gonna be walking out there with his bare ass out like, you got something to say? You pay a bill in here?
You in a cop no more. You in a cop no more.
Yo, at least Tyrone bringing home a check. Unbelievable, yo.
Even the wife is watching Tyrone differently. Like,
Yo, I know, right?
Look,
That's a
honey,
real man. That motherfucker got a job.
Honey, that's the man of the house, honey. He's bringing home his check from Barnes and Noble,
poor guy is sleeping
honey.
on the couch now because Tyrone is in the mother's room.
That poor cop.
Oh, man.
Ex-cop,
I'm
I
gonna
should
handle
say.
all the businesses from now.
Damn, son. Go ahead, voice. I'm
No,
sorry.
Eric O'Neill says there's no more Soul Train for that girl.
Yo,
Yo, what?
Nah, yo, now he coming in. Before Tyrone used to sneak in through the window.
Yeah.
He walking right through the front door now.
Now John Kovac Jr. is opening the door for him.
Yo, the dad was snaking up the couch all
Yo,
day. and
even
shit.
more dangerous than that, the cop is now a regular citizen, so he's capable of doing anything crazy.
You was
Yeah,
holding
but,
a-
yo, but
Oh, no,
he
but
is
his capable was when he was a
capable of
cop because he
going
could
to
get away with it.
No, but now that
Exactly.
he's a citizen, you don't think he's capable of doing anything?
You don't think they
even more
took away
crazy?
his guns and shit from him?
I'm pretty sure he can get them.
He ain't shit without him.
I'm pretty sure he can get some.
I understand that, but
I'm pretty sure he
your
can get some
ass
more.
is going to jail just like a regular black person.
Bingo. Well, I don't know about a regular black person.
Ah,
But
about that.
a regular person,
No,
maybe.
He ain't going to jail.
He's not going to get that amount of years
Okay.
as a black person.
Yeah.
We still are more
What?
suspects in that video than the actual people in the video. Don't get it twisted.
At this point, I don't think he cares.
Yo, that,
He has everything to lose.
Yo,
now.
but the girl getting in the back and screaming and carrying on, yo.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Well, she was going to kill herself.
That was crazy.
yo, you understand? She was going to kill herself
She
with
was
a
about
black
to
She
kill
just
herself.
trying to
Commit
date her
suicide.
black boyfriend and piss her daddy off
She
in
was
peace.
trying to date Makai.
And now look what it's going
I think when
to.
the father heard the name was a cop.
Yo,
that's
he
when
all
everything
had the
crazy.
green jumpsuit.
You know the most disrespectful thing in a black home is when you close the door when your parents are home. You imagine him? What you said, John? Boom! Like we in here, we need private time.
Oh, it's a wrap, yo.
Well,
Yo,
Yo,
Erica says he's grieving the firing with the police union. I mean, yeah, he gonna fight for his job. Don't mean he gonna get it
he's
though.
not get it.
Nah, I mean,
No,
Well,
it's
hopefully, because I feel like if you don't get back at this one, it's how a next one somewhere across town that he could probably go on.
Nah, he's on record.
Yeah,
He's in the
UPS is
system.
hiring.
Yeah, UPS, yeah. He's in the system, so it's going to be very difficult for him.
I ain't know
You get
that.
fired for being
I
a
ain't
cop? Like, come on, son.
Yeah. It's like dishonorable discharge. It's going to be very
I have
difficult.
never seen any
I know
instance of somebody locking up their own daughter just because she was dating a black
the man,
guy.
you
Or
that sweaty man just run away with that friggin'
Yo,
$1
but
million in a
how you so
VJC?
focused on a Negro driving that you don't see your daughter in the back? Like, that's crazy.
How are
He
you so
walked by.
focused that you missed
No,
a
no,
whole crime? That's your job.
Yo, but
Exactly.
they got the whole thing on the radio. 9/11, blah blah blah. 9/11's taking place. All units report. And he's there
Get out
chilling.
the car.
He's so having his family
Get-
dispute.
get
He
out
don't
the car.
care.
Get out of the car.
Yo, but then he sees her. He's like, wait, I didn't know you
I
in here.
didn't see you in
Get the
there.
hell out the car right now.
Mind you, he had a whole argument with
I feel he
the
was
girl,
waiting
the
on that
girl's mother, and took him into
And
the back
did not
and
know
didn't-
his daughter was in the car.
Yo, I feel like
Crazy.
he was waiting on that youth.
Of course he was
probably
waiting.
he bound to see him.
The car was parked
The
there
car was
waiting.
parked, and as soon as you see he pass, you take off like yo. He just rob a bank.
Like I said,
They
the only
need
thing make
to-
this story better is if we could see the family argument that if we
Yeah,
could see
oh
dinner
my
time
God.
at that
That's
household
the
later
tuna
on.
casserole,
Fly now.
Aaron.
What?
Yeah. I love
I don't
to
want
find
this
that
drink
wall.
no more. What the hell will you do with that black boy?
wow.
Yo,
All right.
good morning, Maven. Maven says, good morning. I missed you guys. Good morning, Maven. How you doing?
Yeah, so there's also this viral story as well, man. So what's the story with the 50,000, right? So this guy, he worked his ass off, right? Do you have the story, Bino? Because I don't have the actual.
Let me see if I can find it.
Just send it to me. But if anyway, we'll try to explain it as best as possible. So anyway, there's this guy. He explains in the story that.
All right, I got it. You want me to read it?
Yeah, read the post.
All right. So the guy's name is Terry Duran.
Okay.
All right, so boom. I've lived at home for 2 years and managed to save up to $20,000 in my savings. I've been married for about 3 years and brought it up to $45,000. My wife put in $5,000 to bring it up to $50K. Recently, she went behind my back, took all $50K out of the savings account, and used it to slow your roll voice. I know. Money. But take it easy.
I'm a little uneasy, man. I'm a little uneasy.
There's a reason I'm reading it, not you. Okay, please. You just slow your roll.
Watch over here.
Please, just take it easy.
Money watch over here.
Okay, where the hell was I? All right,
the money was taken.
Now, recently, she went behind my back, took all $50K out the savings account, and used it to pay off all of her student loans. Needless to say, I'm furious over it. Yes, I understand marriage is not about one person, but seeing as how I alone put the $45K in, the least she could have done was consult with me before making such a big decision. Now I'm considering divorce. What do you guys think I should do? Let's let Voice start it off because he's jumping out his damn seat here.
The minute there's money involved, I'm sorry.
He said she gone.
No, I'd follow her. I'd find out where she is.
No, but first, do you divorce? Boys, do you divorce her?
Not I'd be in jail.
Divorce.
What?
Do you divorce her?
I'll be in jail.
Over $50,000.
No. Did you just hear what you said?
Mr. Money.
Did you not hear?
No.
Yes,
but
over 50.
No. I get.
People kill people for $2.
It's the money bags, huh?
True. But
it's just 50 G's, brother.
Well, I don't have to have kids. That's the next thing. You got to think about all that.
Did you hear the amount of money that was taken?
No, Voice. If you put yourself in that shoot, right?
Yeah, I am there. I'm in there. I'm in those shoes right now.
So what I'm saying is, so you gonna kill somebody, and
if somebody takes $50,000 from me,
no,
okay,
no. If somebody takes $50,000,
tell him, boys. Tell him.
Look at Chris. Look at him.
If somebody takes $50,000 from me, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a big misunderstanding.
Yo, Preach, play the thunder and lightning sound effect.
Let me say this. She's dead wrong.
Yes.
She's 110% wrong. And the only reason why she never followed up with him is because she knew what she was doing was wrong.
Okay.
My mother always said it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission, and that's what she thought was going to happen.
Yo, your mother full of quotes, by the way.
Listen, she really is.
She's full of quotes, bro.
But there's no way that school loan wasn't accumulated by you and her. It was just
by
her.
you.
That's it. That was it.
Yes.
So that's your responsibility. For you to take something, $45,000 that he worked hard for, and spend it on something that is just going to affect you. I mean, maybe they're trying to buy a house or something, but if you never came and spoke to him and said to him, listen, the only thing that's hindering me is this, then that's a problem. But for you to do it, it's grounds for divorce.
Okay.
Yes.
It's grounds for divorce. I mean,
yo, let me read some of these comments.
You must really not love the person.
Let me read some of these comments.
Chop her head off.
Sweet Mama says Voice is gonna snap, and she's absolutely right.
She is. He's
Maya B
shaking.
says it's not about the money, it's the disloyalty. I never seen her get so mad at all my life.
Yo, money.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Yo, Vice Chief Central says no. Think about Hunter. Yo,
straight up on
Erica says it's not even about the money. That was the most selfish thing ever. Thomas from Virginia says she's single now. And your mother-in-law, Danielle's mother, has eyes on your ass. Yes.
Watch me, please. Watch
me.
Please.
Yes.
Watch me.
As she should. Sweet Mama says over 1,000 being withdrawn needs to be discussed. Like, that's a fact. Like, yo, you don't take that type of money and use it for something just for you without us discussing it.
Especially when you did not raise it. It's not like you're saying, and it's not like it's 50,000, right? And you brought 25 in and I brought 25 in, and then I took the 25. But even if it's a joint account, it should say, listen, I'm taking the 25 that I raised because, and I know I have to put it back.
Yeah. But I'm putting it towards my student loans, which is fine.
Because it's going to help us.
Because you don't want interest over time and all that other shit. I get that.
If we're trying to buy something, it's helping us in the long run. Even though it's a big withdrawal, it's helping us together.
But the whole 50, when you just put in 5 of that 50,
you imagine having $50,000 and there's a 1 cent left in there. That is insulting. And then they'd be like, "Well, Mr. So and so, your wife withdrew it." Like, excuse, like, how do you come home and Was she like cooking and then he came in there and tried to bust on the door waving the 4-4 about that $50,000?
Big problem. Big
Here's the problem with that. I mean, that man, listen, he saved 25 on his own, right? Or 20 on his own.
He saved 20 on his own before he got with her, before he got married.
Another
and another 45 after the marriage.
No.
He saved 20. Hold on.
He saved 20.
He saved 20 on his own, then another 25.
Then another 25. You're right.
And she brought in the 5.
He brought in 5, which made it 50.
Technically,
that's
I
like
guess.
$5 she dropped
And you know what's crazy?
I
I think legally she's probably only entitled to 25.
Yeah,
no.
she's gonna be. She may be entitled to what they made
A
after
third-
the
no,
marriage.
she's entitled-
Yeah, but
she's entitled to
we didn't-
30,000 of it.
But the whole thing was that they didn't divorce at that time. They were still married, and
But he's asking. He's asking if they should get divorced, and I think they.
Honestly,
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You need to get divorced. That's a
Because now you kind of don't have no trust with
Because
your
what else? I would say what else
could
could she steal from you?
She's so your hard life savings.
This fool
We
come
even
on.
divorce where you could get half. You understand?
Your voice, you alright though?
Oh, I'm good.
Yo,
I'm
voice,
sure.
yo, voice
Do you
was.
imagine?
You need to take a walk
do
or
you
something?
imagine-
I'm taking a little breather. Yeah.
Wait. Do you imagine him calling Sally Mae like, can I?
With his deep ass voice, I'm gonna come there and kill everybody if I don't get my money back.
I'm about to go
You're
Mike
dead.
Tyson and Postal.
Yo, if you didn't see Carl, right? If you didn't see him and you only heard him over the phone and he was threatening you,
I'm about to go
like
Mike
a dude
Tyson.
like me be shocked. I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker's
Do you
serious.
imagine Carl calling Sally Mae like, excuse me, there has been a
Yo,
mistake.
that
I need my
poor representative-
$45,000
You know
back.
the sad
gonna
part
be
is that
tragic.
money back.
Yo,
After you call Sally
Sally
Money's
about to
coming
give
back
it back
somehow.
with interest.
That money's coming back
Nobody, you
somehow.
know what, Priest? You did the wrong thing. You should have never asked Voice that question
Yeah, I mean, I'm
ever
sorry.
in
I'm
life.
sorry.
He's
Money what?
upset.
Yo, but he wouldn't let me
Money
finish
what?
reading the story. Stop asking me, let me finish reading the story.
You saw him in the
As soon
chair
as I
like
said
this.
she took 50K,
Yeah.
His hand was in his hand
I
was like
feel
this.
like Hulk.
Yes, he was
yo,
flushing.
the dreads came out. He had an afro. We had to retwist the shit. Yo, chill, son. Take
All right,
it easy.
And then there's this other viral story that is offensive to some people. So there's this viral post. Do you have that post on your too as well?
This is ridiculous, B. So you ain't just.
So
You know what
this post is basically asking, okay, if rent is $1,500 and utilities are $398 or something to that effect, okay, how much, if you're a couple, how much is the man paying and how much is the woman paying?
I hate questions like that.
You and me both.
I hate it.
That was the
Because
topic of the week.
Yeah, but you know what? You know why I hate this question? Because
Tell them, Crystal.
it really depends on who makes more money to me. Like, if I'm making
Hey, yo.
90 to my man's 30, no, if I'm making 90 to my man's 30, why would I have him pay most of the rent? That is not fair.
Ding dong.
And people keep feeling like because you're female, you don't have to, and I don't have to, and blah, 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 blah. But if you are the breadwinner, you should handle it like a
Wow.
breadwinner.
I'm about to give Crystal a standing ovation right
Yeah,
now.
exactly, yo.
Oh,
Hey,
well, let's-
forget
let's-
Trinity Month's hug. I'm
let's-
coming over there in 1 minute, okay?
Wow.
Like,
But no, it's real talk, yo. It's real talk.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when before hi Big Zaddy. Before Big Zaddy, I was with somebody, and in 2008, the recession was crazy. He was making 90 and I was making 30. When I lost my job, he looked at me, and I was splitting everything down the middle with him. When I lost my job, he was like, "So can you still pay half the rent?" And I'm looking at him like,
Yeah, you ain't got no
"You
job, man."
make 90,000 to my 30,000, and now it's unemployment." But people have this way of thinking like everything should be half and half. No, it shouldn't. It should really go by what a person makes.
But I think the question itself is kind of offensive.
It's very sexist.
It's offensive towards men because let me ask this question: if there was the same type of scenario posed, but it was like, oh, there's a mess in the kitchen. There's dishes in the sink.
What percentage of dishes should the woman wash?
Yes, right.
It would sound ridiculous.
Right.
So why is this not ridiculous as
Right,
well?
exactly.
That's what equality is. Equality is across the board.
Tell them.
Now, granted, like Crystal's saying, if you guys have a situation where you could work it out depending on what you make and what you do, that's fine. In my situation, I take care of things and my girl takes care of me the same. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she's not just sitting there, I'm a
sweet
woman,
mama.
you supposed to do this, that, and the third. Like, that's supposed to work, don't rock. Because I can't come at her the same way. Well, I'm supposed to come home to a full course meal and blah, 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 blah. I'd be sending you back to the prehistoric days, correct? Okay,
Well, I
so do
think-
not expect
No,
me to
not
come
even
home.
strike days, but
Don't
the-
expect me to
Yeah,
come
but
home
that
with a
would do.
goddamn lion on my fucking back. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I think, but you know- but-
it's just wrong across the board. Like today's economy doesn't even have you doing that because everyone has to work because everyone has to eat.
Yes.
And two, if you're the person not working, well, what happens if the relationship suffers now? You're in that relationship, you're stuck to it because you ain't got nowhere to go and you ain't got a pot to piss in.
Wait, there's a comment that's interesting to me.
Go ahead.
Men should work towards being the breadwinner, but I agree with her. The one who makes more should put in more.
Let me ask him something. Gene, you my man. Do women eat? Well, then they can win bread too.
Yes, of course.
Like,
Absolutely.
at the end of the
No,
day.
yeah, absolutely.
Now, if there's a situation where either partner doesn't, or doesn't have to work or whatever, more power to you. Stay home, watch the kids, whatever the fuck.
Right.
Well,
That's
well,
great.
no,
I
let me interrupt
agree.
you there though. If the woman is home, not working,
Right.
then I can then pose the scenario of, okay, well, food better be cooked, and the house better be clean.
I 100%
Yes.
agree with you.
Thank
Yes,
you. That's
but
all
again,
I'm
if
saying.
you make that in the first place, that's fine. But again, even the danger with sitting on your ass, man or female, is when the breadwinner doesn't have it or you want to get out that situation.
You
Then
you
what?
stuck. You stuck. Like, I think if I had the opportunity to stay home, I would take it, right? But I also know with staying home, that does not mean that I'm responsibility free. When
agree
you
with that
stay
totally.
at home, there are things that need to be done. The house needs to be spick and span. Their food needs to be cooked. If you're depending on someone else's money, if there's only one income, the fridge needs to be stocked because now your day is not consisted of traffic in the morning, sitting at a 9 to
Dealing
5,
with the man. Like, come on, get outta here.
Now since you're at home, your job now is to take care of the home, whether you're male or female. Your job now is to be the person who is taking care of these four walls because now the other person is really busting their back to make sure that they can support 2 people or 3 people or 4.
Yo, imagine if you come home from a long day of dealing with everything she just stated. And the only thing the other person got to tell you after you asked them how their day was is what they watched on Jerry Springer. Like, imagine.
Listen. And let me tell
Ooh,
you.
you should have seen Maury. Today, this dude was not the father. Really? Isn't that what happened yesterday, the day before?
And I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes even with me working, for example, I worked from 4 p.m. yesterday to 4 a.m. in the morning. Went home, went to the gym, came home. I still plan to cook dinner tonight, and I'm exhausted. Even though I have 2 jobs, it doesn't negate the fact that I still have responsibilities at home. So if a woman is coming to me or a man is coming to me and tell me that they don't have any job, but the simplest things are not done, I'm gonna look at you like you're crazy because my eyes are burning and I'm still down there like, well, let me sweep, let me do this, like that's crazy to me that you're home not doing anything.
Hello.
That's unacceptable.
Shit's
to me.
real.
It's unacceptable to me. I don't know how people do it. Like,
Shit is real.
Yeah, it is.
It's real.
In other words,
don't be lazy.
yeah,
That's
much.
what it is.
That's pretty much.
Hold up. So let me read some of these comments. Erica says, I'm flipping the table. Gene says, I just want to come home to a stress-free environment. I'll feel you, Gene.
That is all.
We
Don't
can't
we all?
guarantee that.
Don't we all?
We want to, but
Don't
we
we
can
all?
never guarantee that.
Absolutely. We all want to.
You know what I mean?
We all want
Sweet
to.
Mama says a lot comes with staying home. The partner may
Right.
not treat you the same. Yeah, because they lose respect at the end of the day.
Right.
Like if
you're lazy.
If it's unforeseen circumstances, you lose a job, etc. That's one thing.
Right.
But if your ass is just, I'm staying home, that's that, and you ain't doing shit.
Right.
It's a very, it's a wild.
Could you imagine if you're
No, the hell I
with-
can't.
Wait, no, but if you're with somebody and they like lose their job, but they feel like, and then you come home from a hard day and they just sit there eating bonbons.
Yeah.
And there's
Did you just
still
describe
stuff there.
Married with Children?
Yes, and there's still stuff there that was there in the morning time that needed to be done. At least take the incentive to be like, okay, I need access to the account because I need to pay blah, 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 blah. I need to do this, I need to do that. To alleviate some of the daily stresses you have of
course.
having this 9 to 5.
Of course.
Like, some people need that. Sometimes it's better for one person not to work because they're really the backbone and they can handle everything else any other way. But if you can't do that, then what is the sense
It's so not a guarantee though. It sounds good
Yeah.
at first. Let me just stay home and chill. I'll watch kids and clean house and
Right.
blah 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 blah.
And they don't do none of
And
it.
then over time, all my children gets better and better. And, you know what I'm saying?
Correct, but
General Hospital's hot this week.
Right, but
Like it's a bad
that's
look.
2 hours after out of a 24-hour day. So what are you doing with the other 22
But there's
hours?
also the legal aspect of it, especially if you're married, because if you're married and then you have a person who's home and God forbid you separate, you get divorced. Now you still
got to take care
as
of
a
that
man. You have to take care, especially if there's kids involved. Now you have to pay alimony.
Not even as a man. If that woman, as a person who's making more money, you have to pay alimony. A lot of women have to pay it to men as well.
Yes, true.
But the thing is, it's somebody, listen, there's a cordial way of handling it. So if you guys want to separate and not have to worry about that, then that's cool. But there's certain instances where women will get petty and say, you know what? Being that this ended badly, I need you to pay me and make sure I can live the same life that I was living before.
Right, but men too. Men do it too.
That's
not, but men do it too.
I'll tell you a brief story. A cousin of mine had the same situation. So she is a doctor. She had her own practice. And
she
they got to.
You better pay mine.
She got into a divorce because it was a domestic dispute, and then the dude decides to come to court with a fake cast, saying that his leg was broken. He had no work and he needed alimony, and they granted to him.
Yo, your family's the next
best. Day, I see a post.
We gotta get the cameras on now.
I see a post saying that I would like to wish my son's father a very happy birthday and best of luck to his future endeavors.
Yeah, Erica mentioned Kendu, which is Mary J. Blige's husband or ex-husband or whatever.
The problem was
it's just not as common.
He was involved in her career, though. He was deemed her manager.
He worked. Some people don't work.
So he is entitled to some of her revenue.
Listen, Kevin Federline is a millionaire off of Britney Spears' money.
And ain't one Britney Spears song. Well, not like she did either. But the point is, she at least performed and sang the shit. You know what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's a key example. I'm not
Nick Lachey
saying
too.
that women, right.
Nick Lachey he was
No, he got paid by Jessica Simpson, my friend. Yes, he did.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, but my whole thing is
shitload.
I guess I know it's more women than men, but men do it as well. Some people just don't want to work. Like it is what it is. Some people want to stay home, put their feet up, and want somebody to take care of them. And that's not. I mean, if I wanted that, I mean, Big Zaddy would look at me like, "Are you out of your mind?
Talk that shit.
Are you out of your mind?" Like he would look at me like, "You don't want to go to work today." Like he would, if I try to stay home, he'd be like, no. Do you have a fever? Like,
all right, let's go around the room, okay? Voice, would you be okay if you made enough money? You made 6 figures. Would you be okay with your significant other staying home?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Crystal. If
Crystal, he ain't let you answer the question, bro. He let you ask the question.
Crystal, would you? I'm going to give you both scenarios. Would you want to stay home, or would you mind having your husband or significant other staying home and watching the kids? And
okay, this depends. Would I want to stay home? Yes, I would love to stay home.
Okay.
Second, it depends on what kind of.
Would you mind a stay-at-home dad?
I would not if he had his own entrepreneurial things going on. If he can do some stuff.
You can't do that. You can't do so.
Well, it depends on how much. It depends on what 6 figures we're at. Because $100,000 is really not a lot. But if we're in the high 6 figures, I'm with it. Of course. If I know that the person taking care of my kids.
No, I'm saying you're making 6 figures and he's staying at home with the kids and cooking and all that stuff.
If that's the agreement, that does not bother me at all.
Okay, cool. All right.
At all.
Trini Man, would you be okay with either being a stay-at-home dad or having a woman be a stay-at-home wife?
To be honest, I would prefer to work. I don't think I can, like, if I'm making 100. For me, I feel like money could come and money could go. I've been in a situation where I was working and I was doing good, and then the next day you lost it. You understand? So imagine
you could lose it all you could lose it all.
You can lose it all. So
Absolutely.
you never know. So at least that if she have some kind of income coming in, you know what I mean? It mightn't have to be much, you understand, at the moment. But if something was to happen to me today or tomorrow, at least I still know that she's still making a little bank. You understand?
Bino.
So, yes.
Would you be able to have a stay-at-home wife, or would you be able to stay home and be a stay-at-home dad?
With Sweet Mama, she wouldn't be able to do it personally.
But stay home?
No, she wouldn't do it. Like, she's too creative. She'd be bored too much. She likes being out and
moving around,
being active, etc. She wouldn't do it now. If I had enough to do it and she wanted to do it, fine. But she would do it in a way where Crystal was saying earlier, like she'd run a club at night or something like that. Like
she would have
like she can't be
home
rotten, like she'd be miserable, and I like that. And I like that. That's part of the reason why we still so strong. Because like, who need a lazy bro? Like it is what it is. The courts have people comfortable with being entitled enough. You don't need that entitlement in your partner. You understand what I'm saying? The court let them get away with that for the mere reason they don't want to take care of you.
Right.
Period.
Right,
All this alimony and shit like that should have been evolved through the court systems long ago.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you say, all right, you're not entitled to pay for this person, well, then who pays for this person?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Who takes care of this person?
And you also have to look at the budget aspect of it, as far as like especially if there's kids involved. If you weren't, daycare is very expensive.
It is.
So,
I was just about to say that. Like sometimes it makes sense for a person, the significant other, to stay home because sometimes childcare is so expensive that it saves you in the end. So if you have an agreement, listen. And as a mother, you would want to me, I would want to stay home for at least the first year of my child's life to know everything is okay, to really learn my child. It's hard when you have to push your child away at 3 months and take him to a babysitter, and then every time he or she leaves the babysitter, the baby cries because he likes the babysitter because he sees her more than he sees the mother. Right. So I understand staying at home for at least the first year, but I also feel like if you're staying home with your child, you have to assume the role of the
house best be clean.
Yo, let me read some of these comments, yo. So Tanya Sue says both should work just in case one decides to skip. Never depend on anyone to take care of you. That's my motto. Real shit. By Chief Central says 6 figures in New York is nothing when you add cost of living. Yeah, it's a fact. Musclehead said I would be a stay-at-home dad in a minute.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, well, and that'd be the greatest thing.
I mean, the man's a hero.
Yeah, he is a hero.
Liliana says marriage relationships, it should be an even playing field. No one should be getting taken advantage of. I guess that's what she means. Get your own money and make it an even thing. Maven says I would be fine with my husband being a stay-at-home dad as long as he looks after the home front and holds down all the things tied to the home and kids. Not a problem. Staying at home parenting is a full-time job.
It is.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
No doubt about it.
And if the other person can afford it, things may be a little tight, but if it still helps you guys at the end, why would you not do it? But that doesn't mean that you're at home with the kid and now you can get lazy. That's crazy.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time, but I want to actually show these two trailers before we get out of here. So we see the trailer for Creed 2 was released this week, and I was excited after seeing the end of it because something gets revealed, and we're going to reveal it to you as well, that I was kind of hoping it was somebody else's. I'll say it afterwards. But we want to premiere the new Creed trailer. Creed 2. What did you guys think about the first one? I wasn't really.
I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I was the only one that didn't. Was the whole ATVs and we love you, Rocky.
Is anybody surprised I didn't see Creed 1?
No, not at all.
No. Oh, by the way, have you started watching The Wire yet?
No.
Like I said last week or a couple weeks ago, I said that wasn't going to happen. I know you tried. I know you gave her the opportunity.
Today. Is it on Netflix?
First of all, let me tell you something about The Wire. The Wire has clips all over YouTube. I will spend an hour to 2 hours revisiting these clips.
That's a fact.
Just off of like, oh man, I forgot about this part. I forgot about this part. Like you'll lose time just revisiting The Wire on YouTube. So here is the Creed 2 trailer. I'll keep the mics on for this. KO. Is this from the conclusion of the fight last time?
We got this. You heard me?
Nope.
In the ring, you got rules. Outside, you got nothing. Life hits you with all these cheap shots. People like me, we live in the past. You got people that need you now.
Okay, so he has a baby now.
You got everything to lose. This guy's got nothing to lose.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
But you don't think I could beat him?
Who are they talking about?
I will break you.
Oh, come on, Trini, man.
Well, that was dope.
I was afraid I couldn't live up to these expectations.
You don't think you got your validation?
I got royalty inside my DNA. I got royalties, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA.
I want to rewrite history.
Don't pretend this is about your father.
Oh, Father.
I was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I contemplate, I meditate, then off your plate. This that killer kiss the bed. This that I got.
It may not seem like it now, but this is more than just a fight.
It's about to get real.
Yeah,
Who's that,
Drago.
the guy's son?
Yo.
Gal killed his father. Yep.
Wow.
Oh, I'm kind of hype. I can't lie.
Wow.
I will break you.
I can't lie. I feel like throwing hands.
I remember. I think we talked about this when the first movie came out about possible sequels or themes and how they could do it. I rather would have seen Clubber Lang's son.
Yeah, I was thinking about that
That would
too.
have been better.
Clubber Lang stupid.
Hey, woman.
Shut up, Pippi
Get you a real man.
Y'all silly as hell.
Yo, so I'm excited for that. There's a new Chucky.
Oh Lord, they're getting back to that crap
Don't
again.
even waste your time.
There's another.
I'll pass.
And then I'll also play I guess there's this new Whitney Houston movie coming out.
Ooh. Yeah. The trailer for that was crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see that just because.
It's not a Lifetime, bro.
Nah, it's not. This ain't got no
Jeez.
problem.
Enough of that crap.
Hey, yo, and the Bobby movie coming out on BET. That's going to be crazy.
Well, BET I can accept.
You seen a commercial with him with the Coke on the table?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was.
He was ready.
Really? Any of us surprised? All right, here's the trailer.
Blame BET, not me, please.
Yeah. Loneliness calls.
Cute little thing.
Her voice, I was totally knocked out.
Oh, you missed something if you don't see her live.
There were times when I would look up to God and I'd go, why is this happening to me? I come from a family of singers.
My mom, she was a little tough on Whitney because she knew what Whitney had.
There were always a lot of secrets. When you don't resolve things and you don't deal with things, they never go away.
He's the one that put her on crack.
Tell me that Robin.
Come on, Crystal.
Robin was her safety net. Bobby was jealous.
Hey, yo.
His heart was, he wanted to be on the stage. He wanted to be in the forefront. And eventually, she stepped down to lift him up.
I mean, I think we all know that.
People think it's so easy.
Meanwhile, she was more talented.
You can fall on the ground. Now, one thing, Paul Abdul ain't shit. Off key on the record.
Oh!
She had bars, though.
Hold up! Can we,
Guess who's not going to see this movie?
Yo, wait, can we rewind? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And eventually,
She had bars. Oh my gosh, she had lyrics, B.
The cat from the video's pissed off.
I know, right?
You got class, you can fall on the ground. Now, one thing, Paul Abdul ain't shit. That girl is singing off key on the record.
Wow.
Oh, she had lyrics.
She just took 2 steps forward and then 2 steps
back.
back.
Yes.
How much do you think you spent? Did John ever try and get
Her battle rap game, I'm telling you, was on point, bro.
You must have known about the drug use.
I never
Oh, come on, L.A. Reid.
knew there was any addiction.
Oh,
Yo,
seriously.
this guy's just serious.
Come on, L.A. Reid.
Push you on it?
Just look at his face and it's a lie.
Push you on it?
Huh? No, not really.
I had fun.
Pretty sure he provided some of the fun for us.
Hearing her sing the Star Spangled Banner, she made people proud that they were Americans.
I love you, Whitney.
Oh, not Bobby.
she was beautiful.
I'm singing music from my heart.
Heart.
This looks like a proper Whitney movie.
Yo.
Yes, not a life.
Well, listen, there's no actresses or actors or anything. It's
this
a
looks
documentary.
legit.
It's a documentary.
Trinity Mon choking up. You good, bro?
Yeah, man.
He's waiting for the Marshall Montana movie.
Yeah, I don't.
You already had
Oh
that.
my God, yo.
Oh man, yeah, man, that looks dope. I didn't know about the Paul Abdul thing. I mean,
They had beef.
yeah, I didn't know that was a real thing.
I don't think they had
I don't
beef. She's
think I
clearly saying Paula's not on her level for them to have beef.
Paula had that one song that I really liked. It was her and what's that guy?
The cat.
Speed. No, the guy from Speed.
Oh,
was in
Keanu
Rush.
Reeves.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
you
in
talking
that.
about Hush or Crush
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that? Yeah, yeah.
Gene
That
Danier
was
said
my
he's
song
not
back in the
sold. He says, "Fuck out of here." Like,
Yeah, LA Reid
Oh,
just
come
came out
on.
lying.
He damn near lied to all of us right
Lying.
now.
What drugs?
had
I've never heard
no
of such a thing. What is that?
idea.
Crack. What?
She said.
Goddamn.
You
prick.
do know this is a Whitney Houston
I'm
documentary.
sorry.
Who?
Yo,
Come on.
He's lying his life away.
His face though was like what?
Like he was so
What you
appalled that
mean?
that question would be
I
asked.
know, right? Let me see if I can go back to
Oil?
that.
Who said anything about oil?
Listen.
Wait.
Something about oil.
Did you cook it?
Hold on, let me go back to that.
That drove them apart. How much do you think you spent? Did John ever try and get rid of Robin? Were they in love? You must have known about the drug use.
I never.
Oh, come on. Look at his face.
Lying ass.
Come on, man.
What?
Come on.
Knew there was any addiction.
Oh, really? And that's a cry of a lie.
And we all have that face right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn lie. A damn lie. Wow.
So, guys, that is not the only thing coming.
Oh, man.
Next week.
Yeah.
Okay. They say this is a big rich town. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just
Power
come from the
season 5.
Guys, I totally forgot.
Really quickly, season 4.
Yeah, because I totally forgot what happened. I don't even know. Like, is Lobo still there? I don't know.
Yo, I watched a recent episode the other night and was confused like I literally need to read I'm practicing for the damn Regents to get back as to who's who.
I don't think you guys understand. Bino takes notes on his iPad. He's serious. Like he's
truly journalistic with it.
No, because to be fair, we do the reviews, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know nobody's name after damn Ghost and Tommy. So 50 Cent came in and kicked down the door, and the light-skinned African guy. We don't know who the hell we're talking about. Yeah. So I take the notes, and Voice, our historian here, he'll go and find the name. Yep. Like he literally Googles the name of the actor and the character, so we know what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
Because otherwise, them reviews be bad like a mug. You know what I mean?
Terrible. So yeah, man, this comes back July 1st.
Yo, By Chief Central says we should do a season 4 watch party. He ain't lying.
Yeah, I agree with
Speaking of party,
don't get somebody upset in this room, please.
Yours truly will be at the premiere of that.
Yes,
new
definitely
season
clap it
3,
up for
okay?
that, definitely.
Thank you.
Bino,
Bino will be.
Where'd you get the ticket from, Bino?
No, shout her out.
You sure it's not a little family?
Come on, no.
Where'd you get the ticket from?
So yo, check this out, right?
Well deserved.
Yo, I get the invite from Voice's little sister, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, cool. I get me and Sweet Mama's.
Wait. Excuse me. Wait, let me answer. So she literally, Super Mario jumps over her brother.
Correct. Super Mario, bro.
Wait, so you're watching it without us?
I love it.
Oh,
I won't even be here next week, but that's another thing in particular. But anyway, let me address this. So it's it's at Radio City Musical. The cast is gonna be there, and it's a screening. It's Thursday, so you have to dress up and everything. And maybe she knew that you don't own a suit.
I don't dress up. I wear T-Mobile. I'll be wearing T-Mobile all the time.
Exactly, yo.
I'm pretty sure they kick me out.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Instead of watching us passing by.
So yo, the next day,
my headphones. Yeah.
We don't want a T-Mobile sales today.
Yo, well, it's all good.
Mad phones open.
I can put it out, yo. It's not like she can take it back now.
Of course.
Please. No givesies, Jennifer. So anyway, so I hear Voice up the next day. Yo, son, your sister hooked it up. Yo, good looking out. Blah blah blah. Well, hooked what up? I was like, ooh, awkward. So I'm like, the power thing, right? What power thing? My lights are on. I'm like, oh no. The TV show, damn it, like the whole event. And he's still lost.
Yeah, he's stupid.
I was in Cosby. I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yo, man, question marks in the
I
text.
did not know what he's talking about.
Yo, I just left the conversation.
You know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? I think.
I backed up right into the bushes like
I
Omen. I was outside.
You know what's crazy is that now I guess Trini Man and Voice have something in common now.
Ooh. I get disinvited by my sister.
Yo. Wow. So don't do it next week because I won't be here. So the week after we'll have his sister come and they can sit and address each other.
So
it'll be years of tension.
So before we get out of here, can we finally get this resolution hug? I mean, if North Korea and Trump can resolve their issues.
Crystal.
No, thank you.
If Ivan Drago,
exactly.
No, he tried to play me at
Voice and his sister
at 10:15. That's not resolved yet.
10:15. He played you. You know the exact time you got played.
Yeah.
She can record the time.
How do you try to
record the time? Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
What did he do that played you?
Trini Man, is this dead? Is the beef dead?
The beef died a long time ago.
Trini Man, yo, watch your tone.
Even though you did not want to open up the door for her.
I did open the door.
But you kicked the door.
Mind you, and then you
Correction,
also...
he unlocked it.
And also, you walked right past her before you gave her...
By Chief Central says Crystal do it for me.
I came into the room.
Hey,
what are we talking about?
The gal is right there, okay? You guys just squash this.
The gal, them, chaga. All right, Crystal.
It's just so weird to me that they can't look at each other.
They haven't looked at each other the whole show.
The entire show.
The whole show, they haven't looked at each other.
BS. I've been looking at you.
While we having conversations, she was talking to me and I was looking at her. I was listening to what she
Listen, guys, we have a new beef, and that's Voice and his sister.
Yeah.
Especially the way I'm posting pictures from this event Thursday night.
So wait.
Woo, we're having a Voice-free guitar baby.
So now you admit it was you on the video.
That coming on. No, that was you. I'm just biting your style.
Yeah. This
Hey,
Yo, let's carry on, guys.
No, we got to resolve because it's like
Please.
what is this? 11:56.
Exactly. We have shout outs to give.
We have
know
shout-outs
yours
to give.
is going to be
It's
wild.
11:59.
Okay, great. So how about you just resolve this and give Trini Man a hug then?
Exactly.
Actually, you need to give him a hug. Yeah.
Come.
What?
That's a hug.
No. Yeah, twist.
What
Caribbean crap.
What is that?
What?
You're lucky.
What in the deportation did I just watch?
Exactly, son.
Oh man.
What is this? Is
Oh,
that
wow.
telling us our time is up?
Yeah, we got buzzed out. No, that's the AC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
I think that the friction between the two of them caused all that. Definitely.
By Chief Central
I
says
don't
love
think your
conquers
sister
all.
likes you.
Love does
boys.
conquer all.
I don't think your sister likes you.
I don't think so either.
Whatever do you mean, guys?
Well, I mean, the first
Let's
person
just say
she
I'll
thought
be in a
about.
picture with Ghost and Tommy.
Mind you, the first person she thought about when she got those tickets was Bino, not her brother who's upstairs.
Yeah, but it makes
Bino.
sense though, because you wanted to go.
I'm hardly home, so that's one reason.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Like it really didn't make no sense. It's not no here,
I'm
no
always at
there.
work. I'm always at work.
Now you ain't want to come.
I never knew about it, so how am I supposed to know? Come on. Oh, really? That's how you feel, Preach?
That's sad, man.
Get him out of that room.
Yep.
That's rough. That's rough. That is rough. All right, let's do our
Shout out
shout
to
out.
Jennifer, definitely.
Yo, let Trini Man start
Yes.
out the shout out.
Let go and start.
No, that's all you.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man.
Shout out to Crystal.
Shout out to everybody who's listening. Yo, easy.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for it.
Shout out to friends and who was
Oh, to friends.
listening.
Friends and who would invite me to places.
Yes.
Anyway,
Don't excuse
shout out
me.
to Crystal.
Oh!
Shout out to Crystal.
You're the bigger man.
We crushed the beef, you know.
We crushed
long
the beef.
time.
Crush the beef. Yes.
Long time.
So you guys admit there was a beef.
So
At least they admit now
all
there was a
friends- No, there was never a beef. It never.
So what did you crush?
We just crushed whatever.
Worry about you and your
Everybody
sister.
thought was going on. We just helping all the all along the way. You understand?
What the fuck are you saying?
I have no idea.
Hull, yeah. Anyway, everybody else have a great day, and yeah.
All right.
No. Let Bino go next. Let Bino.
Excuse me, there's an order here.
Now there's an
This
order
is why
here.
you're a guest.
Yo,
Good voice. Good voice.
Oh gosh, shout outs to Oceanside. I'm gonna see you in a few. Shout outs to Hunter, Miss Barbie. Shout outs to my mom and pop. Shout outs to Jennifer. Shout outs to shout outs to the airline companies that refused to be a part of shipping back and deporting back the separated kids. So definitely a big thing that you're doing there is standing up to the administration. All right,
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Crystal.
Shout outs to
I want to
Trini Man.
shout out.
Trini Man.
I want to shout out all the people who are able to maintain more than one job and still walk around this planet like it is a-okay. Like, people don't understand, living in New York, you have to have more than one hustle. So everybody out there who really bust their tail and, you know, want more than living paycheck to paycheck, I salute you guys.
Amen.
Yeah, definitely.
Word up.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Bino.
Yes. Anyway, shout out to Sweet Mama.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Shout out. So I don't know if you guys heard, my job has been brought out by AT&T. So we lost a few good people this week. I'm gonna shout them out. You know,
wow.
Yeah, yo, they not playing already, B. The amount of backbiting and ass kissing to keep a job. Shout out to y'all as well. Hope y'all get what y'all looking for. As for me, I have plans I've been preparing for a while now.
Yeah,
But anyway,
absolutely.
please,
Definitely.
Anyway, so yeah, shout out to that.
I would like to shout out family. Shout out everybody, man. Shout out everybody for Father's Day. Had a great time. Shout out all the listeners, all the viewers, man. We appreciate the love, and thank you everybody for the support, man. And this is Sunday Morning Breakfast Radio Show. We're out of here. Peace.
Yep.